I'm being told that I need to get through these intros quickly or the dreaded music is going to start telling me to wrap things up. This is Boonlight150, your host for an episode of A Slice of Gaming for December 8th, 2023. And we might as well just get through this quickly as possible so the music doesn't come for us. So,
This episode of A Slice of Gaming podcast for December 8th, 2023 can be found on YouTube, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Rest in Peace, and Audible. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe to follow for all future content, such as our other show, A Slice of Anime, and review shows. And get all the latest updates on our Twitter at A Slice of Gaming. And we'd like to thank you for giving a slice of your time to A Slice of Gaming podcast.
that fast enough for you, Jeff? All right.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
All right. So let's just get through the regular intros now for people that are not Jeff Keighley. So we're going to have our panelists of today be winner for Best Action Adventure, it's Bench.
Hello, I'm happy to be here and sad to be
Wrap
here
things
at
up,
the same
Bench.
time.
Craving a Jim Ryan retirement party cookie, it's Wolf.
I gotta talk quickly. Thank you so much for having me here.
May or may not be longer than last year's COD, it's Fusion.
Happy to be here, just like Call of Duty was happy to be here this year.
Partying up at Fortnite's Big Bang event, it's Dark.
Hello. Time's up, goodbye.
And he's fluent in Florida, man, it's Bop.
Hey, thanks for. Yeah.
I thought you cut out there.
No, I did. That was intentional.
Okay. All right. So we got a lot to go through today, so the speedy intro is actually kind of worth it. So we have a lot to go through of GTA, we got the Game Awards, and all the little snippets that came out after that. So we're just going to go right on over to Wolf.
Yeah. What's up, guys? The biggest gaming event of the year happened this week.
E3 happened?
And it wasn't the Game Awards. God bless it wasn't the Game Awards, baby. GTA 6 is here! I watched this trailer. Unironically, I've watched this trailer at least like 100 times. I think this is easily one of my favorite video game trailers of all time already. Everything about it just spoke to me. But I'm also the GTA guy, so I want to hear from the people who aren't as big on GTA, or at least never played them. Bench, how are you feeling about this GTA 6 trailer?
I mean, the game just looks very pretty, and I don't know. I don't think there's much to say off of that, as I didn't like. It was a good trailer. It was just not mind blowing. As I've like, it just looked pretty, and I'm excited for it. But it's all so far out. It's like not going to be top of mind for ages for me.
I bet you if the trailer was called Final Fantasy 17, he'd be on my side. Dark,
I mean,
I've played GTA before, I just never connected with it. But it looks like, from what I was able to see in the trailer, it looks like the depth and the detail from Red Dead Redemption 2 thrown into GTA, which is really cool.
Interesting. Moon, how about you?
I'm actually kind of on Bench's side for once.
Oh my god, I hate these people.
Like, it's visually super impressive. Like, if we're just judging it based on just the visuals, yes, it's amazing. But we got just a snippet of what the story is technically about, but no gameplay. It's over a year away, so it's hard for me to get excited for it. But hey, the visuals are amazing, and I'll give Rockstar that.
Listen, you guys are on the right side of history. I want you to know, but I still hate you. But I want to actually ask the real GTA fans here. Fusion, how did you feel about this trailer?
Now you're gonna make me feel bad. I like the trailer. I like the faces. I like the prettiness. But this did not hit for me the same way that GTA 5 trailer hit for me. I don't know if it was because they had to release it early and it didn't really feel like an event, or like I don't know what I was expecting. It was a Rockstar trailer, but for some reason, looking back on the Red Dead Redemption 2 reveal and the GTA 5 reveal, I felt like this was less than both of those. But I could be alone. I feel like people on the internet have been eating the trailer up.
Bob, please help me.
Yeah, it's okay. I knew you were saving me for last because I actually really like this trailer. Moon kind of alluded to it in my intro. I grew up in Florida, and I went to school in South Florida, and I'm really familiar with that. With basically what the leaked map is supposed to be. I've spent a lot of time in all of those areas. So this trailer was like a nostalgic trip for me, and really surreal seeing all of these places that, even though it's not like a one for one, it reminds me so much of what I remember growing up, and honestly
It's
made me
nostalgic.
a little nostalgic, and honestly a little bit homesick because I don't live in Florida anymore. So it's like, okay, yeah, I've been away from it for a while. It's like, yeah, there are so many things in there that it reminds me of home. And I think all the criticisms, or not even criticisms, but just like pointing out that's so far away, we didn't really learn much. Like, those are valid, but at the same time, I think they did a fantastic job establishing like the tone that's going to be set by
Yep.
this game, hopefully. And I don't know if was that confirmed in engine footage.
It very looks
If
like
you look
it.
at so what an ex Rockstar dev actually, who I think at least like was in the baby steps of this trailer, but he worked on like GTA 5 and Red Dead 2. He very much was saying stuff like, yeah, this is very much what the game is going to look like. Like, this is how we do our trailers. I mean, if you look at literally every other Rockstar Games trailer and you compare it to the final release actually looks better. So I think it just goes up from here.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, it's we don't really have any indication of like what gameplay will be like, but um, yeah, they totally set the tone, and I've been listening to a lot of Tom Petty this week.
Oh yeah. It's that music choice, they know how to choose the best possible like song to it's a tonal piece. Like, that's the thing about Rockstar's first trailers. They want to at least immediately set the tone of what the game is going to be. You'll go back and watch GTA 4's first trailer. That's very dark, brooding, heavy, because the game's tone is very dark, brooding, and heavy. It's a very serious game. And GTA 5's is very much like Hollywood. It's like it has this aesthetic that really feels like a classic Hollywood movie, in the sense of like how it's framed, how it's like paced, and all that. You look at this trailer, and I get this vibe of like partying, social media, just this intensity throughout the whole thing. That tells me like this vibe is very much going to be very loud, and I'm very excited to see what Rockstar does, because like one of the best things they've always done to me is, especially with GTA, is how they their commentary on like modern society. And it very much seems like social media is going to be that commentary. And like a lot of people were trying to say like, oh well, GTA's a parody in and of itself. Like, why this is just Florida? It's like, yeah, I mean, like, you can't really parody Florida. Like, yeah, everything in that trailer is very much Florida, right,
Yeah.
Pup?
Did you see like the video that people posted of like all the news footage that is clearly what
Yep.
they're ripping off of? That was amazing. Like, someone was able to
Yeah,
track
like the
all those news
Joker.
stories down. The Joker, the
Yeah,
the
no.
woman with like the hatchet, and people
Yeah.
like the alligators and all that.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
That's
Go ahead.
that's also a good point too. Is, I mean, obviously they're referencing actual videos, which is a great attention to detail. But I think it's so easy to have like this grand caricature of what like the Florida man meme is, and it's like, I get it. When I moved, and I would tell people I'm from Florida, it's like, they'd ask like, oh, you see all this crazy stuff. It's like, no, I mean, sometimes maybe, but like, it's not this crazy, um, you know, caricature thing that you'd never see anywhere else, but it does happen a lot more frequently. And I think this isn't like I feel like if what was that game? Saints Row did a Florida game, it would just be so over the top. And this is like the perfect mix of, it's totally real and it's satirical, but it's not over the top like ridiculous. But we've also advanced enough to where we can have people twerking on top of a car. So I gotta commend
That's
Rockstar
not
for
Florida.
that.
That's everywhere.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. It just like, I mean, like, you look at what they showed in the trailer, like very much that looked like Miami, or in that regard, Vice City, which I saw a lot of people say, oh, they're going back to Vice City. Why not do a new place? But like, the thing is, they've done Liberty City in 4. They did Los Santos in 5. It makes sense to go back to Vice City, because that's the only one of the 3D era that hasn't been represented in the HD era. Because if you don't know, like, the PS2 games and like everything after that is like in a separate continuity. It's a weird thing. I don't really get it, but that's how they do it. And I think it makes sense to go back to Vice City. But I did hear there were some parts of Tampa in the trailer. Bob, can you like speculate on that part?
Confirm or
Yes.
deny.
Yeah. So from what I've seen, and I've talked to some of my friends back home about some speculations. Most of it took place in Miami. There were some shots of the Everglades. I would imagine there was a couple shots of the Keys, and then I think the most important, the thing that kind of opened it up, and I referenced that leaked map. I don't think we've gotten like a hard confirmation, but it seems more likely that that is kind of what the
It's very
map
much a
will be.
developer build, like an early look.
Right. But if that's to be believed, it is backed up. Like at least the fact that it's bigger than Vice City and like even the Keys. The shot of the where they're like the girls like throwing up rock signs in the American bikini covered in mud. That very much seems like an area kind of near Tampa called the Redneck Yacht Club. That's like you just go out there with like your Jeep and go mudding. So
I can't
that
freaking wait.
and like some of the architecture, I think it was like the scene where they, like the convenience store and like the part where they do that U-turn around that median. Those kind of seem more like Central Florida or Tampa architecture. So I would love to see, like, that's the thing. Now I want to see more of it because I'm the guy that, like, if I've been to an area and it's represented in a video game, I want to go and like be like, oh yeah, that's that's taking inspiration from this, or oh, I've been there. And so I'm really really looking forward to seeing more of it.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at this game. I'm just like, I can't freaking wait. I keep saying it's like 2024 really is just the filler year. And it's like, oh, why? Because there's only 2 games. Like Monster Hunter it's only 2 games for like 2025. It's like, yeah, those games are Monster Hunter and Grand Theft Auto 6. Like, just go away 2024. I don't give a shit about anything there anymore.
2024 is going to be hype.
Wah, shut up. But yeah, no, I can't wait for this game. Like everything I've seen about it is pretty much exactly what I was looking. And I mean, Bob, you were actually extremely skeptical, like looking into this very much. You kind of looked at it like, oh, Take-Two might meddle in. Like, do you still believe that's the case? Like, what are your like expectations in that regard?
Yeah, yeah, that is interesting because I've definitely made a 180 since the trailer came out, and I'm definitely hopeful in this game. But I mean, we really haven't seen what the game actually is. I don't think they would pull a switcheroo at this point. I think if they were, I mean, I guess you could have all of those things in a live service game too that they showed in the trailer, but I
That's
just
definitely
don't.
not it.
Yeah, I
With
just,
the story stuff too.
true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna go that way. But yeah, I still want to have a little bit of skepticism and just be like, I just hope that Take-Two hasn't meddled in this and wants to make it a live service game, and like they are focusing on the single player and the story first, and then the Grand Theft Auto Online will be there. They will make their money, and they will make their money from the sales. So hopefully they stay on course with that and they don't
I think
deviate.
I think Rockstar just has to point at like GTA 5 selling 190 million and just go like there. That's it. That's all you have to like basically point out like, yeah, we've done this before, have faith, like let us do what we want to do because at the end of the day we're going to make a great game. You don't have to like pull out this live service bullshit. We're gonna make this right. I have faith. Obviously some skepticism is healthy, but I just think in general, when you look at like Rockstar's track record, it's hard for me to like try to bring down the excitement in anywhere. But there were some extra details. I do want to actually point out the view count on the trailer. It is Friday when we're recording this, and the trailer came out literally just randomly on a Monday, and it is at 130 million views. This game, clearly a lot of people want it, and you look at that view count and it tells you everything you need to know about just how anticipated this release has been. Even when because we didn't mention this, the game got leaked very much. Like they were going to do it a Tuesday reveal at 8 a.m. But what happened was some Bitcoin loser leaked the trailer, put buy Bitcoin on it because he has no fucking life, and very much Rockstar pivoted and took down the video and then immediately just released the trailer. It said just a cheeky tweet of, "Oh yeah, since our trailer leaked, just here it is. Watch the real thing on YouTube." And I think it was a very good pivot. And I mean, I wonder what happened. My theory is that it was a YouTube insider employee, very much someone on the inside at YouTube, because they uploaded it to the servers So I think they learn now that, okay, we want to avoid something like that. Let's upload the trailer when we're actually closer to the designated time.
Yeah, I saw
But
this mentioned, I think, on Reddit, but any kind of stuff that's uploaded to YouTube is put on like a server, like you said, and people who are very proficient in Google servers can easily get into a lot of this stuff. So, yeah, that a lot of these companies will have to learn that maybe Premiere isn't really worth it a lot of the time, because when you're uploading the video like a day early or whatever to prepare for the premiere, you're putting it at risk to getting leaked like that.
100%. And I think they know that now. It's like, okay, they're going to try to avoid that in the future. When do you guys think we're going to get that next trailer, by the way, like the next big news drop?
This summer.
December 2024.
A
Yeah.
long time from now. I mean, we
I
saw it was 17 months between the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer and the second one.
But I
Oh
think,
yeah, no,
Wow.
I wouldn't be
I think this game is like March of next year of 2025 though. I don't think it's
I
late
do think it's actually.
2025.
I actually do have faith that it's going to be early next year. I think they still want to try to hit that financial year.
I mean, even if they do that, I don't see a trailer to at least summer. Like it's at least 6 months away.
Oh yeah, at least some. I
something,
mean, like
yeah.
I can see maybe like May or April at the earliest, but I do think like we're not going to see another trailer until like around summer. Which hey, I'm satiated with this trailer. It's like, this is good enough for me.
And
I just want to
Rockstar
know
doesn't
the game.
really ever show gameplay till a couple weeks out, right?
No, they show gameplay before then. I mean, like they do like actual like in-engine gameplay footage and
Really? For
whatnot.
some reason, I thought we didn't see Red Dead gameplay till like legit a month before the game came out.
That was like a few months before that, but like I do understand what you're saying. It's like you don't get that actual like gameplay footage until like the closer to the marketing cycle. But even then, like I don't think it's like that crazy to imagine.
Hey,
Like they're
Wolf.
very much. Yeah, go for it.
Sorry. Before we get too far away from it, did you hear about the record that the trailer broke on YouTube?
Yeah. What was it? The fastest viewed video in 24 hours. That's a non-music video.
Yeah, and so basically the only thing, because I think it got 93 million views, and I think the only thing that beat that is BTS, which is the K-pop band. So
Yeah, 2 BTS videos.
that is rarefied air.
It is unreasonably high. Like it tells you a lot. Just this is a moment in history with this game. Like this is a game that's very much 10 years in the making since GTA 5, and like that is the second best-selling game of all time. GTA is still on top of the world, and it tells you that this game is. I mean, we could just assume that the sales are going to be fucking magnitude shaking. I'm very excited to see what we get. But we actually did get some press details I want to go over. Okami Games kind of did a quick little roundup of everything in the press release. Confirmed for PS5 and Xbox Series X/S. No word yet on PC. You PC gamers. I will say, I'm not surprised. This is Rockstar. They have never once done day and date PC. I thought this was probably the highest chance of a PC release. And I mean, maybe they could reveal it later, but I kind of doubt it. So it kind of just tells me, in general, like we're not going to see a PC release for a while.
And that's so lame. Like I understand why they do it, and Rockstar definitely doesn't want to, like, with all the games that have came out recently and been broken at launch, Rockstar probably doesn't want to have that extra baggage of hey, we have to release on PC and make sure it works for all of these different types of PC, not just like the Xbox and the PlayStation. But it's just annoying. Like at some point, Rockstar, we'll know more when we get closer. This could not even matter because it could come out to PC like day one. But like at some point, my only fear right now for this GTA game is that Rockstar does not set aside their ego and they just continue to do things the way they've done for 30 years. And this PC thing is one of those things where just do like why are we this game comes out in 2025 and you're not about to release on the PC like day and date. It makes absolutely no sense.
The thing about Rockstar, they're very much a company set in their ways. Their
You just
viewpoint
gotta
is
be
like,
matching A to run, bro.
all right, let's calm down. I mean, actually, you're right though. I mean, they're a company set in their ways because they're like, hey, it worked for us like all this time, and obviously, like, yeah, that is something to be criticized for. But at the end of the day, like, this is just how they do things. Like, they very much view themselves as rock stars, and they're like, okay, well, we could do a PC date and date release, but there's two things that they're probably thinking. One, people are gonna double dip. They'll buy it on console and they'll buy it on PC. And two, they find it a lot easier to like push the absolute graphical extremes of their consoles than have to like personally look at every type of PC build and see if the game can run on all these type of builds. That's kind of the problem that they view it as. They should have a PC release, you're right, day and date, but at the end of the day, it's just going to be the way they always do things and wait for it.
They didn't even put Red Dead Redemption 1, that like latest remaster, on PC,
It's
right?
not
So
on PC.
yeah, so like I mean, this is
Crazy.
not surprising. They can't even
Yeah.
do that. Then yeah, I don't see why any. It's funny, they're like the anti, or like they're the opposite of CD Projekt Red, because their games are always so more optimized for PC, and consoles kind of like, we'll get to it when we get to it, even though they don't, they release it day and date. And I think Rockstar's like, yeah, we'll do console and then PC, we'll get to it.
Yeah, there was another question, if whether or not this game is going to be 30 FPS at launch.
Yeah, it will be.
30 FPS.
I think
I don't-
so.
I don't think it. My theory is it won't, because the PS5 Pro will be out by then.
Still be 30 FPS.
No, it won't.
Look
So-
at the
Well-
PS4, the PS4 Pro.
GTA 5 just got fucking 60
I
FPS.
don't care, bro.
already.
I will play this game at 1080p if you give me 60 FPS. Who cares?
You ain't getting
That's the
it, though.
thing. Well, no, that's the thing. Rockstar cares. They're just like, well, you want the fidelity as much as
I think
possible.
we'll get
Like, yeah, I
60
agree.
FPS.
I
think
want
we
the
do.
60 FPS. Yeah,
This
no, I
game
want it.
launches in 2025. No, like no, I won't do it.
I mean,
Refuge
I
ends up
just,
playing GTA
I'm
6.
just,
hate to say it.
I'm just saying it's a possibility that, because when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, there wasn't a 60 FPS patch for PS4 Pro immediately. That came after launch. So it almost tells me that in their minds, they're like, it's not as important, which, yes, it should be important. But again, they do things the way they've always done, and it sucks.
It also just goes back to that Digital Foundry article when Plague Tale Requiem came out, where that game was at 30 FPS, and everyone's like, "Whoa, I thought we were past like the age of 30 FPS." And Digital Foundry was like, "Actually, now that we're on new systems, they're gonna want to push it farther, and frame rate is usually the first thing on the chopping block to push it farther at the cost of frame rate." And yeah, I don't see Rockstar. I think what they're trying to do, both visually and just all the systems they're going to have in that game, I don't see it being 30 personally. Or I'm sorry, I don't see it being 60. I think it's going to be 30.
Yeah, it's gonna be 20 FPS. Nah, I'm excited. No, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. That's my thing as well. Like, usually when they have it on 30 FPS, it's barely noticeable. It's very stable. Like, in comparison to a lot of games that do run on 30 FPS. Even my beloved Bloodborne, I'll be the first to say that game is very noticeably 30 FPS. Whereas, like, I think GTA 5, you play that at 30 FPS, it's not nearly as noticeable. But again, there should be an option. I agree. There was a couple other things from the press release. GTA 6 continues our effort to push the limits of what's possible in this highly immersive, story-driven open-world experiences, says Sam Hauser. And then head to the state of Leonida. So that's very much their in-world version of Florida, home to the neon-soaked streets of Vice City and beyond, and the biggest, most immersive evolution of the Grand Theft Auto series yet. Kind of tells you a lot about what's going on here. And it is. I saw a lot of people was like, "What? It's not going to be on PS4? Come on, guys, leave that thing go." But yeah, that's everything in regards to GTA 6. I mean, do we have any last thoughts on this game?
See you in
it's gonna be fun.
2025 when I care.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm in that mode where I'm excited for that 20. I don't know why, but the 2025 date kind of took the air out of the sails for me.
Oh yeah, no.
Like I'm still
it
super
was
excited, but
sad.
I was so fully like, oh, this game next year. Like I was fully like, oh, I'm playing it next fall. And granted, it's probably only 6 months maybe, but like we said, Rockstar games always get delayed. They're always good for one delay.
Yeah.
So like that scares me a little bit. Where like
Wait,
even if they're
so-
aiming for March, it could be October of 2024, and that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is still on track from earlier this year, the ABK deal, because Microsoft said it's holiday next year. So early next year will still be holiday. Earlier 2025, I should say, is still holiday. So
Well, yeah, that's the
They
thing. It
haven't
wants to hit
delayed
that
it.
financial. Yeah, it wants to hit that financial year, but when we get closer to release, it's very possible it gets delayed because every Rockstar game has been delayed. I mean, you look at Red Dead 2, that was delayed. Like, that game was supposed to come out in 2017. So, tells you a lot. But we'll wait and see. I will be there no matter what. I understand. Oh, Rune, I can't be excited about it till 2025. Listen, guys, let me have my week, okay? But moving on. The Game Awards, a much smaller event, let's be honest here. Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. But the Game Awards happened. We have a lot to go over, both announcements and awards-wise, but I guess I'll just, right off the bat, ask everyone what their overall thoughts on this year's Game Awards is. Fusion, why don't I start with you?
Yeah, I thought this was, I would say this, in my opinion, I think this was the best paced Game Awards. I think this might, pound for pound, this honestly might be the best Game Awards. There were some issues, which we'll get into, especially about some of the awards and some of the speeches being cut off and just not getting the time. But I think for like just pure pacing, trailers, and even like, I felt like even the ads were like a lot better this year. Like even some of the ads, I was like actually interested in the games they were showing. I thought the musical performances were amazing. I just thought the vibes were pretty good this year. I see a lot of people around the industry deservingly giving Jeff some harsh times about like the whole you only have 30 seconds to have your speech. Why weren't more awards on the stage? Why was he just running through them quick? And I agree with all of that, but I also think on the flip side, we haven't been a middle ground yet, and I hope Jeff takes everything he did to, like on the ad side and the announcement side, he takes all that was really good this year, and then he also builds upon the stuff that wasn't great this year. And like hopefully the 10th year next year is like the perfect blend, but it's hard. But overall, I really enjoyed the show.
Bench, how about you?
I do think this was the best Game Awards. The pacing was just a lot better. Yeah, what Fusion said, people needed more time to talk. But also to counter that, you can't let them talk forever as well. There's never going to be a happy medium with that. Obviously it should have been more than 30 seconds and the music shouldn't have played. But obviously eventually you do have to cut someone off. So Jeff just needs to find that right balance, I think. And I do think it was paced well, all the like awards. I don't agree with like any of them, which was a bit of a bummer, but
Oh, we'll get to those.
I mean, you just have it's definitely a bummer when you just don't agree with like any of the winners, but I still think it was the best Game Awards. And I do think there was one big lacking thing, is that there was no single like massive reveal. I think like what we had with just some of the previous years, there was just like nothing that stood out. And I want to like go look at what this person thought of this. Maybe Final Fantasy for other reasons, more like lore reasons, but like there was nothing massive that stood out. Like even Monster Hunter, I know that's not like my thing, but they didn't show that much. So I do think like, but on the flip side of that, all the reveals we got weren't like small reveals. All of them were like mid to high tier reveals. There was just no like S tier thing, I think, and there's just not going to be that every year.
So, I mean, I'll go real quick. I thought that this show was solid as a show, but I do very much feel that it's getting kind of ridiculous the way that these awards are treated. I think 30 seconds for a speech is fucking laughable. Jeff very much overcorrected and took the wrong lessons from Christopher Judge's speech last year, which most people didn't even have a problem with. They just thought it was funny. But he very much viewed that as like a problem with the show and felt the need to cut off. And the fact that people like Sam Lake were cut off and Enuma being told to like with the teleprompter, please wrap it up, that's a fucking joke. Having said that, I think it's a fun show. I do not have this hate boner for Jeff Keighley. Yeah. I mean, I get why people like aren't a fan of the way that Game Awards is handled, and I very much agree with a lot of that. I still think, to me, my viewpoint is I think Jeff is really good at making a show, but he really needs to work on handling awards because that is clearly not something he is at the level of talent for. Honestly, I don't think any gaming award show is very good. I don't think really any award show in general is very good. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like the reason I watch Game Awards over the others isn't like, oh, I think Jeff handles the awards the best. No, he makes a good show. He makes a show that's fun to watch. Yeah, he's a showrunner. Like he's done this for years. Like clearly he has a talent for it. I mean, but the problem, like I mean, we'll get to it. The fucking bias he has for Kojima is ridiculous at this point. You
Yeah.
guys know I'm biased for Kojima, but this is getting fucking ridiculous. Just the absolute. It's obvious at this point, and it frustrates me so much because I want to be the guy who defends Game Awards and says all this stuff, but at the end of the day, like this was the show where I'm starting to see the tipping point of, okay, you got to start focusing on these awards more. There is clearly never going to be a balancing point. Like it'll never be perfect, but it can be better than how you handled it this year. And I think Jeff's going to listen to that feedback. I think he's usually very good about listening to feedback, maybe a little too good in regards to this year, but I think he will take into feedback. I mean, he had that tweet earlier about like he heard all the criticism. I want to believe he gets better at it, but yeah, it just this was a frustrating Game Awards for me. I don't think it was a bad show at the end of the day. It's a show, but very much a lot of issues.
Can I say one thing before we move on to the next person?
Yeah, go ahead.
I do think you brought up like the wrap it up thing, but this isn't the first year that's been a thing. Like there's proof
Yeah,
of
but
it happening last year.
Well, I mean, the major issue is the music, though. And
Yeah,
like
no,
30
the music should have never been a thing. That's
Yeah,
like
100%.
I do think I'm kind of on the more like I'm not that big of a caring type person, but I do think that you do have to cut people off eventually. I mean, in
No, I
reality, you
understand.
can't.
But
Yeah,
30 seconds.
30
is
yeah,
not
30 seconds.
top.
I think like even like add more 30 seconds, a minute and a half is like even just that adding that's a lot better. I think.
I think it's 2 minutes, but hey, you know what? There is a medium. Like you could figure out a medium.
You can't let people
Moon.
go on for 8 minutes, but like Chris Judge did. Even though I liked it, but
Oh, I loved it, but like, yeah, of course I
Yeah.
understand. But Moon, how about you?
Pretty much as everyone else has been saying, it's a solid show altogether. While nothing was mind blowing for me, trailer wise, but for certain people like the Monster Hunter community, I mean, I'm super excited for Rebirth, but like the Final Fantasy VII freaks are definitely going to be all over the trailer. But it's yeah, like I said, it's a well-paced show, and obviously there are things that were annoying, like how many awards were just kind of off to the side, and then what ones were on the stage, and what was the other thing I was going to mention?
Best score and best RPG weren't on the stage, which is insane to me. The one award FF16 won.
Also,
That's just wild.
And I also find it kind of crazy, but maybe this is just me coming from like an Oscars movie background, but having best performance being like the first thing out the gate is kind of weird.
Yeah,
that was like the first one.
And the wrong person won, but
oh my god, we'll get to it. Calm down, buddy. Dark, how about? Oh, sorry, man. Did you have more to say?
I was gonna say something about this, but I think I forgot it. So yeah, just move on.
Oh, okay. Dark, how about you?
It was okay. I'm very happy that he upgraded security. Like he did a really good job of security. I felt like
the security was good.
I even think I saw them stop somebody from trying to go up on stage. I don't know if it was just me seeing shit, or if that's what actually happened. But
they were those security guards were straight up out of Batman Arkham City. I was laughing like, oh, I'm not fucking with those guys.
But other than that, I mean, I thought it was alright. I mean, there's a couple cool reveals, I guess. I do feel bad because some of his big reveals did get leaked the day before. But besides that,
no, they weren't like leaked on like Twitter the way the GTA 6 trailer was leaked. There was like a couple of dudes in a Discord talking about it. But yeah,
I mean, the names of the titles that were not announced yet got leaked. So yeah.
All right, Bop, let it rip. I know you're gonna say some mean things.
No, I'm gonna keep it more measured. But yes, I mean, I am a very loud critic of the Game Awards as a whole. But there's no reason to keep dunking on it at this point. I mean, I've just kind of, it is what it is. And I think though that I was actually surprised how much feedback, both from people watching, from the developers that were there, that actually got mentioned. Because to me, I feel like I've been yelling at a brick wall for the last couple of years with how some of these decisions have been made, and it kind of seems like this year was specifically painful, or maybe not painful, but just like people kind of pointed it out more, some of the issues or some of the criticisms this year. So that was surprising, but yeah, I mean, overall, I kind of went in with expectations, knowing like it's not going to be an award show, and it's just going to be a lot of ads and show trailers. And honestly, it was really good. I agree. I think it's probably the best paced show. I thought there were a lot of announcements of substance. Granted, there were a lot of kind of vague either CGI or just trailers we didn't know a lot about or didn't get to see. Like it was a lot of time, and yet we didn't really see anything. But still things to get excited for. And so that part was really good. But yeah, the whole, honestly, just the phrase "please wrap it up" feels very insensitive. Like,
Yeah, that weird.
like please finish, or please there's so many nicer and politer ways to say those things, and that just seemed insensitive. And also, yeah, I think you guys had mentioned it, but the Baldur's Gate devs, they didn't actually get to go on the stage until Game of the Year, and there was 4 of them, and I feel like they rushed off the stage. Well, I mean, they had the best performance, but that wasn't
there
like
was one before that even. I might be crazy. Was there another award that they won that they were
all
on
the
stage?
other
all the other
awards were off.
off stage.
That's
It was only best performance.
Yeah, and so they got up there and they were literally talking about how, so many people lost their lives working for the game through COVID, and I think it was their creative director or somebody had passed away recently, and it's like and it's like they had to rush off the stage and only one person talked, and it's like it felt. Yeah, and it just rings hollow, Jeff talking about this is a night for the developers and to celebrate video games, and we're not properly celebrating those people. We're celebrating Anthony Mackie doing some really weird crowd work for a minute and a half.
I mean, we can talk about that now. What is the deal with these fucking celebrities? Like, Muppets are okay. People are talking shit about Muppets. That's okay. Let's keep the Muppets. Gonzo is peak. But Anthony Mackie, the guy from Kim's Convenience, I forget his name. He was in Barbie movie too.
The one with the cast on.
He was not.
Yeah, that guy. This was his second time at the Game Awards. First time he made shitty jokes. Second time he made shitty jokes, and there was no like, let's please wrap it up. No, they just stayed on stage rapping, like, making these shitty jokes. Like, Roger Clark, who is the voice of Arthur Morgan in Red Dead 2, he put a great point on Twitter, and I like fully 100% agree with this. He said, it's weird how like as a video game industry, we keep looking up to Hollywood. It's like we're the more successful little brother that still seeks validation from our older brother. And like, I don't know why we're still like sucking off these celebrities. Like, we're bigger than them. We are bigger than Hollywood. Let's act like it. Let's put actual developers on stage. Like, I think about, they removed the Industry Icon Award. That's just not a thing. And I thought that was one of the coolest things from previous Game Award shows, where you had someone like Ken and Roberta Williams, the founders of Sierra Entertainment. Not everyone's going to hear of them, but what they did for gaming is instrumental to the place that we are now. Why aren't we celebrating them? Kojima won an Industry Icon Award. Thank God. But like, why aren't we having an industry icon? Hey, shout outs to Miyamoto, Anuma, these people that are industry legends. But fucking Anthony Mackie gets to make this weird ass, like, the dude acted like he was fucking drunk or some shit. I don't know what the hell that was.
Most likely
ridiculous.
Yeah, I would say, I was thinking that last night. But I'm like, it would be cool if like, even like, it was cool when Christopher Judge was up there giving the best performance out. You know what I mean? Because he's in the video game space. He's Kratos. Like,
yes,
get people up there who either make video games or are in a part of the video game landscape. I don't care about 100%. The celebrities, and I like movies, but I could care less about them being there. I want like Reggie, and like, I want let Phil Spencer give out an award.
Reggie didn't present an award. How did Reggie always presented an award? That was always a tradition. He presents an award. This time he just didn't. He was there. He was at this crowd.
Like, there's more important people. Even if I get you're not gonna, Jeff, you definitely. have more wow factor when you're like, hey, Anthony Mackie's showing up, and all these people are showing up. Matthew McConaughey was there.
I
That's a
popped
big
for
name.
McConaughey.
I was saying Matthew McConaughey is a very large name, but like,
Who is
you
that?
can-
All right, okay, we're not getting into
We're not
that.
getting back into this conversation.
Okay,
like we
I'm
can
sorry.
get into like, but it's still cool to have like devs come up like Vince Zampella, right? That's his name. Yeah, like
Yeah,
have
Vince
him come up
Zampella.
there, like, and people like that where it's like even if they're not household giant names in the gaming industry, people will learn about them when like they make really good video games and they're at the TGAs every year and like they come out and they give awards and it just feels more like an actual community instead of, hey, this is a night for gaming industry, but we just want it to be Hollywood. Which I've never
Yes.
thought of it that way until last night when I was thinking, yeah, it's kind of weird that we're always throwing celebrities out there. Unless it's a celebrity that's like in the gaming space, like a Keanu
Idris Elba.
Reeves or like, yeah, someone like that
He
who's
wasn't
like been
even
in
there.
games and stuff like that makes a little more sense. But when you're just throwing like Anthony Mackie in there, who's probably never played a video game in his life, and he's just up there and he's just like doing this spiel, and it's like it doesn't feel right. I'm
Feels
sure
hollow.
people there probably love it because they're like, that might be the only time they get to see Matthew McConaughey in person at a gaming event of all places. You know what I mean? But like the fans that around the world do not care. Like we want to see video game people in the video game space talking about video games. That's why Jeff put the show on in the first place. And I feel like I did appreciate that he publicly tweeted out that he's taking the feedback, especially about the like speeches and stuff. Like I was surprised when he tweeted that out when he's like, I hear you, the team, we're gonna work on that. Hopefully he does. He's taking feedback every year well, but it's like you're still so. I feel like he's so close on one side of it with the announcement and stuff, but he's still so far away on the actual awards at a place called the Game Awards.
I will
Yeah,
push
for
back
sure.
a little bit, which is crazy that I'm now going to defend the Game Awards. With the celebrities and stuff, I mean, McConaughey said he was
Yeah.
in that game.
I mean,
And-
Matt is fine. Yeah.
And
But, like-
and Timothy Chalamet does play video games. That's why he was introduced as YouTuber modded controller 360.
I mean, but why was he the one who presented Game of the Year?
And that's fair.
Like,
'Cause
That's
he's
totally
one of my
fair.
favorite-
That's
like,
that's
one of
also
my-
weird, but he's also he's an up and coming big name.
No,
But-
he's cool.
but
No,
I think
yeah, go ahead.
in defense of that, I think the orchestra presents the Game of the Years more than Timothy Chalamet does. So it actually is kind of like if we put someone like a Kojima up there, like it wouldn't matter because we were caring about the medley that's about to come from the orchestra. So that one, it's like, yeah, it's kind of whatever. But yeah, I mean, Mackie, that one is kind of a more like obviously just like Hollywood bait and
It was
the points
instrumental.
and yeah, right. But then that's like good for the adaptation category. But but then at the same time, I think as much as that tweet from the Arthur Morgan voice actor like rings
Right.
true, I think even though the video game industry probably is bigger than Hollywood, like let's face it, it's not like in the
General consensus of
yes,
the
in
general population.
yeah, it's
Care
not
about
like
those
it still has not broken through. Sometimes it does, like with GTA 6, it absolutely broke through to the mainstream audience in a crazy way. But I think Jeff's kind of right that it's still like he's still trying to get these people to do these because he is still trying to not necessarily legitimize the gaming industry, but like
Bridge
make
a gap, I guess.
yeah, or
I'm-
like
I'm
make
fine
more of the
with some-
mainstream audience watch it.
I'm fine with some celebrities, but like there's two things. One, try to get someone who's actually relevant in gaming, like someone who's like very much in a game, or even Anthony Mackie, he was in an adaptation. And two, stop giving them so much time to make these whack ass like jokes and stand up routines. Like what the hell
I
is
mean, on
that?
the
Tell
flip
him-
side of that, to
can't
play
tell him
devil's
to shut him up.
advocate,
He can't
just to play
shut him
devil's
up.
advocate for a second, of just getting on the game, having a game developer or someone on the gaming industry on the stage for too long. Fucking Kojima up there for 10 minutes, and all
Oh
he had
yeah,
to
that's
show
an issue too.
was just a bunch of Ultimate Engine 5 heads screaming at you because Kojima's head is so far up his own ass. He'd just be like
rants.
a Hideo
I'll rant
Kojima
about
game.
that one. Don't worry.
like a Hideo Kojima game, and that gives him 10 minutes to stand up there and just talk. about nothing
yeah,
and
I mean,
nothing to show for it.
I mean, I
So
got
either
some
way,
bad
either way, between game developers and the Hollywood celebrities, anytime anyone was on stage and if they weren't presenting an award, it was a problem.
I think it was a problem mainly for people like us who were like enthusiasts. There was a lot of people who weren't that really big into games that watched it, and I found out
oh yeah,
the morning afterwards was I went on Instagram and my feed was filled, surprisingly, the Game Awards, people reacting to it. But a lot of these
people
people,
loved it.
they didn't know like half of the game. A lot of the people there wanted Spider-Man 2 to win, and they didn't hear about like Tears of the Kingdom, or they didn't hear about Baldur's Gate. They're like, "What the fuck is this? We never even heard of this before." It's very much like we're the
We're the
small minority in this.
Yeah. Why wasn't Fortnite
I-
nominated for Game of the Year?
Yeah, there was people saying that.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. There's a lot of people out there who like, Jeff targets this audience in some way, obviously. Like people who are just, not nearly as invested. They're there for the games. They want to see what the new games are. I see a lot of people like that. And I think that that's fine. But I also think that, I don't know. I just think there's a middle ground. And I think Jeff is going to take this feedback. But like, in general, I preferred last year's show. Maybe the pacing was not nearly as good as this year's. I think the pacing was a lot better this year. But also, I mean, I just think the announcements were more interesting last year, at least for me. I can at least like stand back and say, hey, the announcements this year were also really good. But just in general, like there was not nearly this level of like weirdness around the awards as there was last year, at least in my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
like I
that's
said,
hard to hold. That's hard to
Yeah,
hold
go ahead,
against
Moon.
Jeff. I was just gonna say that's hard to hold against Jeff because he gets what he can get. It's not like he's picking and choosing.
Oh, yeah,
well, I
of
guess
course.
he kind of
He
is.
handles it
He
well.
did admit that he did turn some people away.
I mean,
But
Jeff is gonna get what the public's gonna like. So if he didn't get something, then obviously people weren't gonna give it to him. If
I mean, he didn't get GTA 6.
yeah, but
No one's gonna get GTA. If GTA 6 was here, no one's gonna talk about like Blade.
I'm glad GTA 6 wasn't there. I'm gonna be
Yeah, I
honest.
agree.
No,
I
hyped for
would
Blade,
not
though.
have.
overshadowed
I'm
everything.
excited to talk about Blade.
No, that's the thing though. I mean, like, say with me with a straight face that Blade is gonna get more hype than GTA 6.
Oh
there's
no,
a whole other Xbox taxed themselves.
Yeah, well, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
We'll talk
We'll
about
get to
Xbox. I mean, let's get to that. Do we want to do the awards first or the announcements first? Because
Good
we got
announcements.
we
Okay.
really have to talk about the awards. You could just blow through the
we have
announcements.
we have the results from our predictions.
Let's go to the
Oh,
announcements.
yeah, let's go do that. That's the fun part.
Okay, well that's two people saying different things. So
I'd say, what are we gonna? I'd say the awards first because I feel like we'll get more feedback. Like, I could say do the awards first.
Okay, let's do
all right, let's do the awards first. Because I have the results. And the results. Oh man, you guys are gonna find these results funny. So Wolf,
Sorry, Bop, you didn't play.
I'm Wolf.
I'll get there.
Me, Moon, Bench, and Fusion did all our predictions, and I think this is going to be a really interesting results. I'll say right now. So esports, we skipped those categories. Faker won best esports. Or no, Faker didn't win that one. Never
Yeah, he
mind.
did.
I thought he did. No,
he did.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. They showed a different person. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, you're right. It's a weird thing with the website. They show like who you voted for, so I was confused. But yeah. Moving on. We got to show content creator of the year. I do want to shout this out real quick. Iron Mouse won, and she did not think she was going to win. It was a very sweet moment on Twitter. She was very excited, so I just wanted to shout that out. She seems like a very wholesome person. But the actual awards that we predicted on. First up was most anticipated game. Me and Moon said Hades 2. Bench and Fusion said Rebirth. The Weebs won. Rebirth won.
Let's go.
Yeah, you guys are
Hades wasn't
crazy.
even at the show.
I voted with my brain, not with my heart on that one. Just know that.
Where was Hades?
No, I would have voted with my brain, but I was just biased.
I thought like the people voting would have been more for like a previous Game of the Year winner than just for Final Fantasy. Otherwise,
Hades never
I
won.
would have voted for Final Fantasy.
Wait, Hades didn't win in 2020. That was The Last of Us year, remember?
Was it? I thought Hades.
Yeah.
won.
No.
No, Hades never won.
They weren't winning that
Didn't
year.
it?
Come on, man.
Did Hades win indie game that year?
Yes.
It won indie game.
Yeah.
It won a lot of. It won like 2 or 3 awards that year. But
yeah.
Compared
When
to
has Final
Last of Us,
Fantasy
I won
won
like
anything?
20.
Yeah, I was just saying, it wasn't a year where it was a sweep.
Yeah, FF7 remake won soundtrack that year, but that's not. Let's do what we're doing this year. Best adaptation, we all said Last of Us. Shocker, guys. Last of Us won. that was where I had to vote with my brain because I really wanted Mario movie.
And let me just jump real quick. This is one where like I don't like that best adaptation is on the stage, but like best indie's not on the stage. Like it makes me
that
so
is
mad that the
insane.
Sea of Stars devs weren't able to walk up on the stage. Like
Yep.
they're
That
just
is
up on the side. Like come on now, that's insane. But like best adaptation, let's have. I love The Last of Us.
Hollywood
We all
guy.
knew he was going to be up there. Neil Druckmann's been on that stage 100 times. Did he need to be up there another
1000%.
time? Like, come on.
That's ridiculous. Best multiplayer. This was actually a shock. We
This is a
all
sham.
voted for. We all predicted Street Fighter 6.
should've
Baldur's
won.
Gate 3 won.
I go back to
Oh.
that podcast. I said I said it was going to be Baldur's Gate, but I was sticking to Street Fighter because you guys all convinced me.
Baldur's Gate, like the multiplayer is half broken in that
You
game.
never
You
played
did
the
not play
multiplayer.
No,
You have
I
not
played
played
with
multiplayer.
roommates. I've literally played with roommates.
It's half broken, guys. The game launched in a buggy state, apparently, guys.
No,
Moving on.
I mean, real quick though, I will say I didn't vote for it for best multiplayer, but I think the majority of my friends played it in a group, and I didn't even think about that possibility. I was like, that makes sense.
I don't know. Like, a game like Baldur's Gate 3, it's just like I don't see that as a game I'd want to play with friends.
Oh,
Like,
I agree.
This is me time.
Yeah.
It's funny because I definitely wouldn't either, but the Divinity game I played entirely couch co-op.
Oh, nice.
Like the first one. So like I can see the experience like of the couch co-op Baldur's Gate game being really fun. Or like if you're really into D&D and like you're running like a campaign through Baldur's Gate, like that type of stuff.
I don't want to play with my friends. Best sports/racing game. Why did we all say the Crew Motorfest?
Because for one, Bop, it was Bop's influence on me. And for two, I was like, if there's any year for a Forza not to win, it's this year. Like people I thought were lower on this Forza. Like it was like a
That's
just
what's
okay
weird.
Forza game.
I will
'Cause
interject
Forza-
here.
Yeah, go for it.
I would have voted for Forza. Well, actually, I mean, I did. I'll get there. I did vote for Forza, but I was also shocked because like the game is not in a good spot. I think this was people on autopilot. If I'm being honest.
I think people just saw Forza
That's
and locked it in.
autopilot. I don't, because it's like nobody talked about Forza when it came out. It was like an 83. It's like, whoa, Forza at an 83? Those usually get 90s. What the hell happened here? Either way, best sim/strategy. Oh my god, Advanced Wars, get this trash out of here. What the City Skylines? That game launched broken. Company of Heroes, nobody's heard of that shit. Fire Emblem Engage, more like Fire Emblem Shit Gauge. Pikmin 4 wins an award, more awards than Spider-Man 2. I just want to point that out. I just got to point it out. You know, I love Spider-Man.
Where's the Insomniac kicking strays?
Pikmin sweep. That's all I'm gonna say. Pikmin sweep.
And we all guessed that, right?
Yeah, we all said Pikmin 4. Thank God. If one of you said something other than Pikmin 4, off the podcast. Best family game. Now this is where I voted with my heart. This is where I voted with my heart, not with my brain. I'm the only one who said Pikmin 4. Mario Wonder won. All of you voted Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
So, listen, I know if I voted with my brain, but like I literally said on that podcast, it's like I believe, and even after that, I'm like, can I change my answer? Best fighting game. This is a landslide. Moon said Mortal Kombat 1, and then everyone else said Street Fighter 6. So we all got that Street Fighter 6 points except Moon. Best RPG. This was another landslide. We all said Baldur's Gate 3, very easily won. Not much else to add there. I mean, the Game of the Year winner is also the one who best RPG. That's not shocking. Best action adventure. This is where things get a little interesting. So me and Bench said Zelda, which is the winner. Moon and Fusion said Spider-Man 2. Your anti-Zelda bias is showing, guys. I'm just gonna say that, right?
I think Moon convinced me that. I don't know. I just felt like I said, I understand why Zelda is an action adventure game, but it still feels weird to me to be like, hey, Zelda's an action adventure game. But that's
There's
just
action,
I
there's adventure.
I understand why it's in the category. It just feels weird that it's like, hey, Zelda won action adventure. Like I don't know.
The reason why I didn't go for that because I was still in the trenches of thinking Zelda's gonna win Game of the Year, so they're not gonna also give it action adventure.
It's also kind of interesting. That was the only award Zelda won.
Yeah.
Which
Bullshit.
is wild.
Alan Wake 2's better, bro. That's just how it works.
He said it, not me. Zelda's my Game of the Year, by the way, guys. Best action game. I said Armored Core 6, and Bench said Armored Core 6. We got the points. Moon and Fusion said Hi-Fi Rush, and on the live reaction when we were watching the show live in the Discord call, Fusion said From Soft Bias. Listen,
It is. Hi-Fi Rush is the one. I have
listen,
it.
No,
listen.
what?
Oh my god!
I
Oh my
love
God.
Hi-Fi Rush, but there's no way Armored Core wasn't winning that
That's what I
category.
mean. We know why. We know why. That's
It's
all I'm
the
saying.
better
No,
game.
it is not. Maybe they make good games, Fusion.
It's
Thought
probably a
about
good
that?
game, but it's not a better game than Hi-Fi Rush.
Fusion.
Literal
So
children.
wrong.
No,
Literal children.
I think the reason Hi-Fi Rush wouldn't have won that category is
Xbox
because I
Fest.
know, well, that obviously, I mean, that's without saying. But I think the real answer was I know a lot of people who like beat 'em ups and are like, I have no rhythm, I can't play this game, and I think that
Well, they have accessibility
really.
for that.
I know they have accessibility, but like people were still like, I can't, like, I know I'm not on beat and this doesn't feel good and it can't really combo. And I think that's why it overall hurt it in that specific category, which I can understand.
I should point out that both games are phenomenal. Like
Oh,
Hi-Fi Rush is so fucking good. Best VR AR. We all lost this one. Me, Moon, and Fusion all said Gran Turismo, and then Bench solely said Horizon. Fucking Resident Evil Village VR won. I think we know why
This
it
is
won,
stupid.
guys.
This is dumb, but
I hate Sims. I hate them. Best mobile game. We all said Honkai. Honkai was the obvious winner. Sorry, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Best debut indie game. This is a weird category for us because me and Moon said Pizza Tower, Bench said Viewfinder, and then Fusion said Cocoon. And let me tell you guys, Cocoon devs got fucking roasted on Twitter for that win.
Really?
People were very upset Pizza Tower didn't win.
Oh, well, that's
'Cause
the
it was a-
internet, I guess.
It was a very much a indie game breakout, and then everyone's like, "What the fuck is Cocoon?"
Yeah,
It's like-
that's like the culture of that fan base. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, so Cocoon won that one. Congrats, Cocoon. Best
Deserved.
independent game. Oh yeah, for sure. I haven't played it, but I heard it's good. Best independent game. I feel stupid for saying I said Cocoon for this. Moon said Dredge. Bench and Fusion said Sea of Stars, and then Sea of Stars was the winner. I feel like I should have. I feel weird for voting Cocoon in there, but hey, you know what? Live and learn. Best community support. This was another weird category. I'm such an idiot. Moon, Bench, and Fusion all said Baldur's Gate 3, which was the winner, and like a dumbass, I said No Man's Sky. I just listen. I respect
Their
No
new
Man's
game
Sky
though.
developers. No, that's the thing. I respect the No Man's Sky developers. I wanted them to win. Best ongoing game. I predicted Cyberpunk. I got the point. Moon and Fusion said Fortnite, and then Bench,
I should've picked
extremely
Cyberpunk.
unbiased, said Final Fantasy 14.
I'm biased. I knew it wasn't gonna win. It'll win.
Yeah,
this
I
year.
don't know why I picked Fortnite. Every time I'm wrong, Moon's also wrong. He was doing something to me that day where he was just like, he was
Bro, it's
convincing
in
Guiding
me.
your
my
ear.
strings.
This is the
Fusion
one
and I
none of
just
us.
share a mind.
This is the one none of us got right. Me, Moon, and Bench for Games for Impact. We all said Venba. Fusion said Chance of Sinar. Fucking Chia won.
This blew my mind when Chia won.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I was
didn't hear
surprised.
anyone say anything good about Chia.
People liked it, I guess, but like for the most part, everyone was like, it's skippable. But the Chia devs, they showed their reaction to what winning the award, which was really sweet. But it sucks because Shuhei Yoshida was the one who accepted the award. But I mean, I love Shu, so no disrespect there. Innovation and accessibility. This is the weirdest one to me. I
Should've
said
lost.
Spider-Man 2. Moon and Bench said Street Fighter 6. Fusion also said Spider-Man 2. The winner was Forza.
Street Fighter should have won.
Yeah, I was
Like-
shocked by this.
Yeah.
I voted for Street Fighter.
Xbox tax.
That is.
I
Xbox tax.
wonder if the only way I could see Forza winning is because I remember they made a big deal in Horizon that they made accessibility features so that the visually impaired could drive.
Was it another autopilot?
And
Visually
like I don't
impaired
even know if
fight.
that features in Forza Motorsport. I truly don't know. I would think it may be, but I didn't hear a single person talk about accessibility in Forza. I was shocked.
The visually impaired can fight in Street Fighter 6. That's a fighting game.
Right, and yeah, I agree. And like
No,
the
Shogun is Street
because that guy at Evo, right?
Yeah.
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 This
Yeah,
feels
that
like
was
another
surprising.
autopilot to me, kind of because like
Yeah,
Forza
same.
had won in the past. People
But
just
you
saw
would-
Forza.
But you would think on autopilot, if I'm being honest, it's usually a Sony game that wins like these accessibility awards. So I would have
Yeah, that's why I
figured
voted for
the
Spider-Man.
autopilot
Yeah,
would be
that's fine.
Sony.
Yeah,
I remember
that's weird.
people were not super happy about Spider-Man's accessibility.
That's also true.
Were they not?
It was missing some stuff.
Apparently, yeah, I think there was stuff that like Rift Apart had from Insomniac that like Spider-Man 2 didn't have at launch.
Hopefully, with a later patch, they can add those.
I think they did patch it in already, but I
Oh,
could
they
be
did.
wrong.
Oh, cool. Okay. Here's the fun award.
This was
Best
bullshit.
performance. Best performance. Me and Moon said Idris Elba. You know, the guy who didn't appear. They showed literally a cardboard cutout of him. And then Bench and Fusion. You know, the with all the heart in the world said Ben Starr.
I really thought he had it. I was shocked.
Ladies,
Should have.
Same.
ladies and
Astarion was
gentlemen,
a fine performance.
the winner was Neil Newbon for Astarion in Baldur's Gate 3. I'm just mad that Yuri Lowenthal didn't win. I'll be honest, guys.
Yuri was
think-
never gonna win.
Oh my god! Why? What is this hate? No, fuck Ben
No,
Starr.
I
He sucks.
agree. It,
Yuri had
it should have
no
been Ben
No, if you're
Starr.
gonna roast, if you're gonna roast my boy, I'm gonna roast your boy, Ben Starr.
Hey, Ben Starr could be on the podcast. Yuri ain't ever
Yeah.
coming on their podcast, bro.
Yuri's coming on the podcast. I already called him. No, he's gonna roast my boy. I'm gonna roast him. That's all.
I
This was
do
the very
think,
first
though-
shock of the night, which is also the first award. So.
Yeah, like Astarion, I think is a good from what I know about Baldur's Gate 3, it's a very good written character, but I don't think the performance was.
I love his performance. You were
like,
crazy for that one.
I thought it was more backed by like the actual character, like written and choices
Oh.
itself. Whereas I feel like Ben Starr literally carried Clive.
I mean,
wouldn't-
I can argue
I wouldn't say
that.
carried, but he
Wow.
brought. He brought. You could tell he brought us all to that performance,
100%.
and then some.
Listen, I wasn't.
The
the
man
biggest
made
fan
me
of,
cry multiple times.
I'm just saying, Yuri Lowenthal. I mean, he was a beautiful
He
Spider-Man
wasn't gonna win.
performance.
It was great.
Oh
but
my
he-
god! Ben
he
Starr was
wasn't
never
gonna
gonna win.
win.
He
Yeah,
didn't win.
apparently, but-
He didn't win. His dumbass didn't win. Fucking whoa! Joshua, where bro's trash. I'm sorry.
good.
Fuck you.
Well, that was kind of good.
I'm just
You
Best
saying.
audio
Like,
design. Best audio design. It's in the past.
could have been Dead Space.
I said Hi-Fi Rush, and these children, Moon, Bench, and Fusion, they all said Dead Space.
Should have won.
They're
I really
wrong.
thought
they're
they
so
should've-
wrong.
I
Yo,
thought
Hi-Fi
this
Rush,
is why
the
the only
whole
reason this
game
space was
is on
nominated.
beat. The whole
No,
game was
I
on
wanted to
beat.
say Hi-Fi Rush, but what led me to Dead Space was saying that this was the only thing Dead Space got. So clearly, a lot of the people voting for this saw something in Dead Space, and who
That was
maybe
me
it,
that said
it peaked, it reached it over to it winning.
Yeah, Fusion said that.
Moon, I think you're playing the game a little too hard. Like you're getting in your own head on these predictions.
It's a popularity contest.
Yeah, it's
True.
I
always
don't know.
that's not surprising. Best score in music.
Let's go.
Yeah, deserved.
I mean, listen, deserved. That's an argument in and of itself. I said Alan Wake 2. Moon said Hi-Fi Rush. Fusion said Alan Wake 2. You know, we all said the actual better soundtracks, the ones
choked
that
that.
were
No, I
the ones
choked
that weren't
that.
boring, that were interesting. You know, it wasn't just FF14 music again. They actually
What?
did like unique and interesting soundtracks.
This
It wasn't
is
just
wild.
choirs doing the most boring ass
slander.
OST
Haters
in
are
gaming
sick.
history. And then Bench, the weeb, was like
How did
FF16
how did I not guess Final Fantasy 16?
because you were on your Alan Wake 2 high. That's
I mean,
why.
I prefer the element, but Final Fantasy 16 was always the winner. It was always going
How
to be winning. So I don't
have
know
you
why I guessed
heard
anything else.
Herald of Darkness. They
I know,
played Herald
I
of Darkness on
personally
stage.
like the
Did they
Alan Wake
play-
2
Long.
better,
Did they
but
play anything from FF16?
No,
You
because-
know what they should have though when
Aren't
they
you
did the
Yeah.
when they did the orchestra for 7, they should have just been like, "Fuck it, we're playing 16 music because this is our only
they could have
chance."
just took the Resident Evil 4 just
What's
out
the
of there.
16 music? Tell me a song from that game that was like actually interesting and unique.
Away?
I don't know.
The main
Who?
theme, I don't know.
Away.
The main
Away-
every song is just the Final Fantasy theme from 1987.
Wolf.
No.
They
you're-
literally
you're-
they just reuse the song from 1980. It's like
They used
It's
it
like,
for
I
a
heard
lot
that-
of them, but not like
It-
the memorable ones. I think of like the boss fight music in general is just
Ascension,
really good.
Beyond
I
the
cannot
Heavens.
tell you how
Titan
any of
Ball.
those songs go. I
I
can't
just
tell you
don't
how
know the
any.
Dude,
names,
I
that's what
listen
I
to it on a
remember.
daily basis still.
Yeah.
But you're the
I
weeb,
think a
but
lot of people were happy that Final Fantasy 16 won this.
you look, Alan Wake 2 had Wide Awake, Anger's Remorse, like these end of chapter songs, beautiful, handwritten, and then just they get this guy who just uses Nobuo Uematsu's notes, the same notes that have been used since 1987, and everyone's like, oh my god, Final Fantasy. And I'm just saying, there's a little bit of bias.
Everyone go play the Theater Rhythm DLC of Final Fantasy 16. You'll understand.
Wolf is wrong.
Okay, here's the
argument.
argument.
Talking about skipping the end of Alan Wake songs for like half the game.
No, I didn't. That's a lie.
He's
actually lying.
He's getting slandered. Okay, whatever. Final Fantasy 61. Move on. It's a good soundtrack.
It's okay. Okay, best art direction.
It's great.
Best art direction. This was a weird one. So me, Moon, and Fusion all said Hi-Fi Rush. Bench said Mario Wonder.
Yeah, I'm an idiot for this.
Why? Why did you say?
I don't know why I didn't. Say Alan Wake.
The winner was Alan Wake 2. Honestly, I don't know why.
I should have won.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi definitely should have won. You look at that art style, like they nailed that Saturday morning cartoon vibe.
Bro.
I think Alan Wake is just like the most graphically appealing, but I don't know if I would consider that like art direction. I think you're just really good at making graphics.
Alan Wake definitely like landed right as people were writing in their ballots, so it was very top of mind. And it's the critics game. Like it's the game critic game.
Let's not do this recency bias argument. That does not exist. You look at every Game of the Year winner, 90% of them were from the first half of the years they were out. I don't like this recency bias argument. Except for it's when something I wanted to win lost. That's when I was totally not biased, guys.
That's why Mario Wonder won Family, because of the recency bias over Pikmin 4.
No, actually, you're right. Oh my
That's
God.
what I'm saying.
You're right. Us Pikmin fans, Best narrative. This was a funny one. So Bench and Fusion said Baldur's Gate 3. Fusion voting against his boy Alan. Me and Moon said Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake 2 won.
I choked the some of these. Like obviously choked them. I don't know. I think I was outthinking myself.
Best direction. Me, Moon, and Fusion all said Alan Wake 2. Bench, definitely not biased, said Zelda. Alan Wake 2 won Best Direction. And finally, the big Game of the Year award. Me, Moon, and Fusion all said Baldur's Gate 3. Who didn't say Baldur's Gate 3? I mean, who would predict against Baldur's Gate 3?
Bench, I respect it.
Zelda should have won.
Hey, that's not what the history books say.
That's what
Final scores.
Say the same about 2018.
Hey, we'll see you at the DICE Awards, all right?
Yeah.
We'll see you at the DICE Awards.
I'm gonna lose again.
Yeah, DICE Awards had Untitled Goose Game win 2019. That award show is a sham too. Final scores. We got some funny ones here. So, in last place with 9 points is Moon. With 12 points is me. And Fusion.
What?
And Bench.
Oh, so we tied?
We got a 3-way tie, ladies and gentlemen.
Except for me, let's go.
We'll take that.
Wolf, may I chime in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
So on November 19th, 2023 at 1:01 p.m. here on this Discord, I posted a screenshot of my predictions that you all can go back and reference. I scored 17 points from that list.
But you weren't there when we...
So I think
I declare Bob the winner.
I am declaring myself the winner. Thank you, everybody.
Nope, that's crazy.
Hang on. Dark didn't post any predictions, so that means he's technically right because he didn't predict anything. I'd say we give it to Dark.
I agree.
No, screw that guy.
No, I'm giving
Bro's
it to Bob.
asleep. Dark's asleep.
He slept.
He's asleep. He's done.
Hey, the awards are fun. I will say it's very weird. My last time is it's very. I would never have thought that a year that Tears of the Kingdom came out that it was beat by 2 other games. Like the fact that Alan Wake 2.
Whoa.
Where did Alan Wake 2? Oh, you mean in number of awards?
Yeah, a number of awards won. Like Tears of the Kingdom came out and it won 1 award. Can you believe a Zelda game won a singular award? That's that just shows how crazy 2023 the year was.
Pikmin 4 wasn't even nominated. This show is a sham. No, it is an interesting.
Hey, Resident Evil 4, thank the critics for never voting that. Like, let's just get that out the way. Like, finally they did something.
They gave it enough votes to make it Game of the Year.
No,
yeah,
I'm so happy. Like, that would have been the end of me if that happened.
I'll tell you guys right now. So a really interesting thing just to point out. So with Resident Evil 4, a lot of people are saying, well, Resident Evil 4 remake shouldn't be here. It's a remake, the fusions of the world, all that. I just want to point something out. This was coming from the Xbox crowd, by the way. And I'm not trying to pull like console war shit. Don't try to. But I'm just saying the Xbox crowd was saying like Starfield should have gone in over Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm just gonna say a spoiler alert right now. If RE4 remake didn't get in, FF16 was gonna be in there. So either way,
right,
Starfield was.
so-
Hi-Fi Rush would have gotten in before it. Like that's just how it is. Like it's nothing against. I'm just saying that's like a weird thing I noticed. But let's move on to the actual reason we watch these shows. I'm kidding. But let's move on to the announcements.
Oh, also one last thing. Sorry to interrupt.
Go for it.
When people say, like we sit here and fans would say like the awards are stupid, they don't matter. The way I saw Larian light up when they won this Game of the Year award, like it matters to these devs. Say what you want, like it matters when you spend half a decade working on the game, putting all your love and passion into it, and you hear those words that you won the Game of the Year. Like tears start, like it is. It's in a look at Sam, like these are important awards. When we can act like they're not important and they're just silly, which on paper, sure, but to these devs that actually spend time day in and day out, 70 hour, they're getting recognized, and these things matter to them. It's still like to say like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like it just bothers me when people are like
to like the AA studios, the indies, but when like freaking Nintendo is back up there for Zelda, it's like it's not a big deal so much to them, but to the Larians and the
even
Sea
then,
of Stars
like,
people,
AJ Anuma is this industry legend, and like he went up for action adventure and he put out that speech that was like he clearly cares. Like, the developers care. Like, yeah, sure, the publishers, whatever, but like to these developers, like Fusion was saying, they very much matter. And when we say like, oh, these awards don't matter, my viewpoint is more so that don't think of these as the end all be all. These are the only award shows that matter because there are multiple award shows, and also the only award show that matters. Let's just be honest, guys, is the Soggies. But behind that is your own personal list, your own personal top 10, 12, whatever the hell you do. Because that is, at the end of the day, that's what you think of the games. And
even like the Cyberpunk, like seeing those devs go up there for CD Projekt Red and winning Best Ongoing Game after the 3 years of what, you know what I mean? Like it almost felt like they were finally like, wow, yes, you know what I mean? Like they finally got that redemption. And it's like, for a lot of people, these awards don't mean anything, but for those two guys up on that stage, that meant a lot, and that made their night, that made their year. Like these awards mean more to these devs than people will put on Twitter and be like, "This means nothing," but like at some point they do. Like awards are cool at every level of entertainment, sports, video games, movies. They all matter to someone, the person who's winning the award.
It matters, and then you have Jeff. Well, not Jeff, but then you have the TGAs be like, "Oh, your best independent game, Dave the Diver," and then you have the fucking shit, the esports team, which is like a double slap in the face. It doesn't matter if they won or not. Someone else got nominated just because of that.
What were you gonna nominate, bro? Friggin'.
But also, it's like it's not Jeff. It's all the.
No, I even said that. Yeah.
It's not Jeff's fault. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously Jeff like holds responsibility.
It leads into that point.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
No, that was it. Like it ties into that. Like, how are you gonna be like? It matters to these people. Like, even if you don't like it, yeah, it matters to these people, and then you're gonna slap them in the face or shit like that. For the point, you have people requesting to get taken off because they don't have no purpose being there. Like the fucking one esports dude.
Well, no one knew a single esports coach.
It doesn't matter if people know. There's people who you just went on a whole thing about people like that people care about it. Now you get to pick a side.
No, I don't understand what you're saying.
I get Fusion's point. No, I understand what Dirk's saying. He's saying like, if you say that, oh, it matters to these devs, then like there have to be some like things that need to be ironed out in regards to the voting process for a thing like independent game or the esports coach. And like I agree with that. Like I do think that they have gotten better with that since the past. Like a lot of weird nominations. This happens a lot, but like this happens with every award show. I feel like Game Awards get singled out for a lot of these like weird nominations because it's the biggest stage at the end of the day. That's just like again, Untitled people hype up Dice Awards. Untitled Goose Game won in 2019. We really want to give that fucking award show respect. I will never respect them.
If Zelda wins,
I mean,
respect.
It gets respect because that's like actually developer voted
the
awards.
developers are wrong. Untitled Goose Game.
I'm just saying like that's kind of and that's what I was gonna bring up is that if if you have, like, not you as in anyone here, but just the general you have an issue with the Game Awards, like, start watching the DICE Awards. Like, start watching these other award shows. If you want Jeff to fix something, the best thing you could do is hype up the other ones and create competition and force him to change. So
I will say one last thing. It is always comical when people hype up the golden joysticks and say, and like they're like big issue with the Game Awards, which is clearly an issue. I do agree. Is the cutoff date? The golden joysticks happen in November, and that gets off scot free with that. Just say
they also had Dave the
we need to
Diver
be consistent.
as best indie game at the Golden Joystick.
Yeah,
But no
Yeah,
one
it's an
cared
issue
that it was
whenever-
there. But when it was like Jeff's show, it was a big deal.
yeah. Then it's an issue. Anyways, let's move on to the announcements. So I'm just gonna say this. He doesn't call it a pre-show.
Opening
He
act.
calls it an opening act. It's a pre-show. The timer was on the top right, literally 30 minutes until. Just call it a pre-show. Come on. But they started off. Cindy Goodman was there, and she announced very first was A Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons remake. This is Joseph Ferris's first game. I'm really excited for this because I've never played this game, and I am a huge Joseph Ferris fan. I'm a big fan of everything he did. So, I mean, I'll just add, like, are you guys interested in checking this bad boy up?
I played it when it first dropped.
No.
This feels like a game that doesn't really deserve a remake. Like, I don't understand why they
it's
couldn't just
what, less than
remaster
10
it.
years old.
Notice how they didn't bring it out on stage.
Okay, bro's like a gotcha
I've
moment.
I've
Notice
never,
how they didn't bring it out.
I never knew people liked this
Isn't
game.
he the
more.
guy that like is
It's-
always
it's
big
not
on
bad.
stage?
The game's alright.
Oh, you meant Joseph Ferris. I mean, I don't
It's
think
his
Joseph
game.
Ferris was there. Oh, he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Fusion, what were you saying?
I used to like this is one of those games where it's like I felt like it didn't have a huge maybe I'm wrong, but I felt like it never had like, this gigantic fan base. Like, I felt like it's like one of those games. Like this remake
you'd
feels
be
really
surprised.
weird to me. But I don't
No,
know, maybe I'm wrong. Like,
people-
I have no interest in it. So.
People love Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. They are very much die hard for that game.
Who are
I'm
these people? Are
Oh
they
my
in the
God.
room with us right now, Wolf?
These people, you children, have like a
There's dozens
goldfish
of us.
attention span. People talked about this game all the time when it came out. It was like one of these indie arcade games on Xbox 360, the live arcade. But Bob, come on, support me. Oh, you
I
were a
don't know
multiplayer brain.
what
What
game?
this?
yeah, I
Just
don't.
quiet.
I'm not. Yeah,
I
it's,
played
I
it.
could go either way. It's fine.
But,
It's
it's
not
alright.
really one of the things I was excited for.
Literal goldfish brains. Literal goldfish brain. I hate this company.
I
Moving
didn't like keep in mind at the time when I played it, I wasn't really big into the community. I think I just seen the game like, okay, let's play it, and I played it. That was it.
I hate children. Next up was Daniel Mullen's next game. He was the creator of Inscription and
Now we're
Pony
talking.
Island. That his next game is Pony Island 2 Panda Circus. I've heard a lot of good things about Pony Island, and hearing about him doing a sequel, which is in 2025, and another reason 2024 filler year. So, Fusion, you were excited for this one?
I did not know it got a 2025 date. That's kind of crazy. Hopefully I don't have to play the first one because I love Inscription and I want to play this game. I have no idea if this is like a direct sequel and I should play the first one. Maybe Bob would know more than me, but
You should. It's a
I was
short
fully
game. You
on
should
board.
play the first
I was like the minute I knew he was like the minute he announced like on Twitter that he was gonna be here or like tune in, I was like hyped. I was like okay, and just like this trailer is just like what he does with his weird video games. It all looks so weird, but it somehow works so well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Did not realize there was a Pony Island 1. I thought he was pulling a Goat Simulator 3 where he just skipped a number. So that's news to me that there's a Pony Island
Yeah,
1.
same here. I thought it was
It
called 2 as
Yeah,
a joke.
Pony Island was his first
Pony-
game, I'm pretty sure.
Pony Island was kind of one of those like weird indie games that came out and got a really cult fan base. It is a very meta game. I never played it, but I know a lot about what happens in it. It is a very interesting game, and
Yeah, I
says
should
very much he
play
wants to go back to it.
I knew
Yeah,
nothing
it's a short
about this game, and it reminded like
Okay, go for
the first thing that came to my head is like this is what people on Twitter is like. This is their headspace.
Yes, also true.
True.
I think to kind of echo what Fusion was saying. Inscription is a great game. If you haven't played it, you really should. If you have any interest in card games, and this seems so up Inscription's alley at least because I can speak to that one. And yeah, I'm really excited because it seems like it's a lot of different gameplay elements that'll somehow tie together, and kind of this mix of 2D, 3D, live action, or FMV or whatever. And so yeah, I'm really excited. I'll be keeping an eye out on this one.
I should mention real quick, the article I'm taking this from is Lottie Lynn over at Eurogamer. She did a great write-up of everything announced, so respect to her. Next was Rise of the Golden Idol, sequel to Case of the Golden Idol, coming out in 2024. Very exciting for fans of the game. We also got Usual June, developed by Finji. That's a 2025 date. Not much to say there. Then there was a Odd Gentleman called Harmonian the Musical. If I remembered correctly, this is the game that was very much the Disney musical game. And also, I want to point out a lot of these games were announced for Netflix. What is it called? Netflix something. Netflix games. What is Netflix doing here?
They're trying to get into the industry.
Also coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, coming to Game Pass as well. I wasn't really into it. Windblown, not much to say there. And the next was Thrasher. So this is from the creators of Thumper. Did any of y'all play Thumper? I heard this was actually a very high quality
Played it
game.
for like
I never
5
heard
minutes.
of it until last night.
Oh my god, Bench! I
Why
didn't
did you
ask
blow
you.
past Windblown, bro?
I know, really.
Why did you? Wait,
I
wait.
thought you.
I
That's
just,
from the Dead
oh, this
Cells
was the
map.
Dead Cells game.
Yeah.
The name is so forgettable. I thought it was just some other random game. I didn't realize it was Dead Cells. Yeah, no, Windblown. That game looks awesome. I could do
Like,
without.
completely changed his tune from skipping over.
Well,
it.
I didn't realize it was the Dead Cells creators game. Like, if you're telling me it's the Dead Cells creators, I'm in. I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, that's their game that's coming out next year. Also, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I wasn't into the aesthetic of it, but like, I'm interested in checking out because I'm a big fan of Dead Cells. Next up, we got the Weeb game, Persona 3 Reload. Another trailer for it.
Continues to look incredible. Though that's not the Atlas one I'm excited about. So
Oh, okay. So the weebs get quiet. I say the
know,
weeb
I
game,
mean-
and now they got nothing to say.
I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know what
fuck
what
this.
you want me to
I
say
hate
about this game.
I
Like,
mean, it's just
they showed more than enough about this game
I'm
already.
not a
They showed
weeb,
like
so I
50
can't talk.
fucking trailers.
The problem is Persona 3 has been putting out a trailer every week for the past like 8 weeks now.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen
He's
Persona 3
told the
7
entire
times.
story by the amount of trailers they put out.
I hate weebs. This is why I hate weebs. Next up, this is actually a really sick thing. Dave the Diver and Dredge are getting a collaboration.
Very cool.
That's coming out next week. Actually, I love
What game
indie
is
game
it in?
collaborations like this. What do you mean?
I,
What game?
I
is it
think
in?
it's in Dave the Diver,
Oh yeah.
because they showed
I-
gameplay from Dave. I didn't see any gameplay from Dredge.
I'm into this. I'm very much into this. I have not played either of these games, so it's not something like I would play. But I just love indie game collaborations like this. Any type of collaboration in this regard is just like a huge like W for me. Moving on. We got World of Goo 2. This is fucking awesome for me. I love World of Goo. This is a really cool looking WiiWare game. Back it was like one of the first WiiWare games, kind of like a very like underground title at the time, but like really got mainstream appeal for people who were a big fan of the Wii Shop channel. It just 15 years after the original, they're going for World of Goo 2. I will be checking that one out. This is a very cool game. And then another Weeb game, Metaphor ReFantasio. Who cares? Moving on.
What?
Hey,
No.
no.
Hey, that's not how it works.
I hate these sweeps. All right, go ahead, talk.
I mean, this game just looks like the first trailer was good, but this trailer was great. I'm completely sold on this game. I'm like, it's very high on my anticipated list now. Just like fantasy Persona, a mix of like action and turn-based. It just looks visually distinct. I can't wait for it.
This is the second game besides Trails I've seen use this hybrid combat system, where it's a like action RPG on the weaker mobs, but then when you get into like the serious battles, it goes to full-blown turn-based, and it works really well.
Yeah, because I don't think we didn't know that it was going to be also action, like an action
Yeah.
RPG as well. So that was a cool reveal. They only gave us a fall release day, which is annoying, but I'm guessing that's only because they want people to focus more on Persona first, and as soon as Persona's out, then probably at like E3 we're gonna get the release date.
And then the music in that trailer was also excellent. I can't wait.
Yeah, actually, I'm very excited for this game. It's just I hate it
You're
when
a
these
hater.
weebs start talking. I'm not a hater. No,
You're
I
a
just don't like
weeb
you.
too, Wolf.
I am not a weeb. That is
You
bullshit.
run an anime podcast.
Fusion, back me up. Fusion, back me up.
I actually kind of thought it looked cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
This is how we
No,
get
and
him
the
in.
game looks. No, the game looked incredible. I'm very excited for this one. That's ex Persona developers straight up. It
No,
is
it's
funny.
just-
They can't really. They can't
Isn't
say
it?
the creator of Persona. They have to say from the makers of 3, 4, and 5.
No,
Because it's like, yeah,
Atlas.
technically.
This is just the Persona team.
No, it's not the
No,
Persona team. It's
the
Oh, it's
current
not?
they
Persona
separate.
team. Yeah.
It's not the same Persona team. It's a separate team from the current Persona team, who are making Shocker
And
Persona.
you didn't know this?
Well, I knew it was just still like Atlas.
Well, yeah, it's still Atlas, but they split off of the original Persona team, and they just made a new team within Atlas.
Okay.
Made a new team to make a new Persona.
Yeah, wait,
Yeah,
didn't
that was weird.
Persona split from Shin Megami Tensei though? So this is the third split.
Yeah, this is
No. This isn't related to Persona at all. It
No, I
has
know, but I'm
zero
just saying
connection.
as teams, like they have now
Oh,
split
yeah.
3 times.
No, because Persona was a spin-off of Shin. Well, who cares? Let's just get into the main show. The next game was Exodus. This was something Shinobi was actually really hyping up over on Twitter. It has Matthew McConaughey, someone who I've never heard of, but hey, you know what? Apparently he's a really big name actor, and it's very much a sci-fi. It's Mass Effect. It's Mass Effect.
Fusion, this is going to tide you over until 2029.
messed up.
Leave
This
him
game's not
alone.
coming out till after Mass Effect.
Yeah, no, this game is not.
Dude, this
Actually, no,
game's
we
all over that.
saw gameplay of this game. I think we'll get this. I don't know. I was actually into this game. I thought the
It
trailer was
looked good.
cool.
Yeah, it looked good.
Into it, but there's just not enough for me to be like, oh, I'm in. You know?
This was
Wasn't
what
it like ex
this show.
Rockstar devs?
Yes.
No,
no ex
no.
Bioware. This is ex Bioware does,
Yeah.
Okay.
Ex Bioware.
which is like the good Bioware. So hopefully, I don't know. I thought it's crazy that the like 20 seconds of gameplay we saw from this game is like some of that's on the higher end of the gameplay we saw of all the announcements. Like,
Yeah, well, that's a problem because like we were like, oh, CG trailer, and then they actually showed the game. It's like, why didn't you do that first?
well, honestly, I had no. A lot of people were saying there was a lot of CGI this event, which there was, but this felt like a very much, hey, this is what's coming in the future of gaming. Like this show for me felt a lot of like
Oh, yeah.
2025 and beyond. Like we got so many. We'll get to them, but we got so many brand new studios finally showing off what they've been making. Like for the past like 2 to 3 years in the industry, there's been a lot of super important dev teams out there, like ex Rockstar, ex CD Projekt Red, ex Bioware, creating their own dev teams from the ground up, and we're finally seeing a lot of trailers for those games that like they announced years ago.
We got a lot of big details on this game. Shinobi kind of rounded them up. So Exodus, new story-driven sci-fi RPG with time dilation, ship companions, branching narrative, a lot of good words there, led by BG KOTOR and DAO lead James Olin, story by Mass Effect writer Drew Karpyshyn, and BioWare plus Naughty Dog vets. So very much like the good BioWare, as Fusion said. Like these are like the OG BioWare people who worked on like the Mass Effect trilogy, the original Dragon Age games, all that. We got some more details here as well. Rival human dynasties, monstrous creatures, alien civilizations. Explore the Centauri cluster and interact with strange alien cultures and societies. You play as the Traveler, having fled a dying Earth. Customize your character, progression, and combat style. Steal weapons and tech to fight it back against the Celestials, humanity's greatest weapon. Infiltrate dangerous alien strongholds. Decide on combat tactics and strategies. Time dilation. As you travel at light speed, days for you can be years, decades, or centuries back home. In your absence, friends and families will grow old and change. Choices have a big impact. We'll see about that one, because you burned me before in the past. Companions, a diverse cast with their own backstories and romance path. Examples include a genetically engineered savant, a punk metal mech pilot, a genius cursed with an alien virus, and more. Said a lot of words there, but like, did anything specifically stand out to you?
Yeah, to me this just genuinely sounds like, hey, we made the Mass Effect games, we're gonna do that again. Like we're going to do like
It's always every time. It's like, oh, ex Rockstar devs were making GTA, ex
like,
Mass Effect were making Mass Effect. It's like, hey, I'm down for it.
I would say, yeah, I'm 100% in. If they can nail what they're saying, like with the choices and the companions, like they're using all the right words, which is good on paper. We just got to see it like actually happen in action. I felt like the art style they picked was interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's more
Matthew
like
McConaughey is also a weird lead, but
not. It's not realistic, but it's not like super cartoony. It's like that weird like those weird Unreal. Is this an Unreal Engine? Because it looks like that weird Unreal Engine like type.
I'm pretty sure it's Unreal Engine. I could be wrong. I don't see anything about an engine in the trailer. I might have missed it.
But yeah,
It's
I
also
mean, I'm
real
totally
quick.
down.
Wizards of the Coast. They're helping publish this game. And if you don't know Wizards of the Coast, they do D&D and Magic the Gathering. So I don't know. That's just kind of a funny thing to note.
It's kind of. I
But
mean, that could be extra good.
oh,
Get
I'd be
some
down
like
for it.
more choices in it. I don't know. I just hope the choices actually matter.
Yeah, please. That's the one thing where I'm like, let the choices matter. Fallout New
And,
Vegas more than
and if we're
Fallout 4.
talking like original Mass Effect and those devs, like the choices should be really good. But I guess we'll figure it out.
Hopefully.
You have the Naughty Dog devs in there, and they've never made a game with choice in their life. So
I mean, there was that. No, there was never. Okay.
there wasn't.
In the original Crash Bandicoot, there's a split path.
Oh, nice. You can go left or right here.
Moving on. This was one of the things that was like weirdly like we forgot about, but it's like, oh yeah, that happened. God of War Ragnarok DLC, Valhalla. Someone was pointing out there's only 2 words for like Norse things in gaming is Ragnarok and Valhalla, so that's just funny in and of itself. But yeah, very much like just a straight up like free update, like free DLC. That's the big thing. Coming on Tuesday, December 12th. So next week. Very interesting. It's very much a roguelite mode. We have some extra details here from Kami. Free DLC for owners of the game, 5 difficulty settings which you can freely switch between runs. Serves as an epilogue to the events of God of War Ragnarok. Set after the Battle of Odin, spoilers, and follows Kratos on a deeply personal and reflective journey to Valhalla, accompanied by Mimir. Combat reimagined, Valhalla blends the combat of Ragnarok with elements inspired by roguelite genre. Upon death, respawn outside the doors of Valhalla. Earn resources to unlock permanent upgrades that follow you across runs. Kratos will have access to all unlocked weapons and upgrades, but must commit to 1 shield and 1 Spartan Rage per attempt. After clearing rooms, you can unlock temporary stat upgrades, perks, runic attacks, and more, separate from the base game, so you can play at any time. However, it's recommended to beat the game first. Said a lot of words there, but let me tell you, the only thing I have to say is hype.
Yeah, do we think this is the rumored God of War thing? Because I actually think this further confirms the expandalone game.
I think there could be an expandalone game following Atreus, because he
Yeah.
very much
Is this
like this is just Kratos.
This is an they described it as an epilogue as well. So they're and it seems like Kratos is journeying back to some pivotal moments and like so I think this is his send off for now.
Yeah, I think when they showed God of War at first, this was not what I was thinking. I thought we were finally getting like the rumored actual DLC. You know what I mean? Like the actual like what have been rumored about the Tracer. That's what I thought. So like this kind of threw me for a loop when it was just like, oh, it's just his mode. But I'm still 100% down. I'm more interested in. This is now 2 Sony games doing this. I wonder if this is going to like if the Sony games are going to start to be like, hey, we're going to add these roguelike modes to our video games, like our single player video games. Like,
dude, please, roguelites are finally being a big thing. I hope so. I mean, roguelites are like, I want a roguelite.
I love it.
Ratchet.
It's probably my favorite genre, but like it's just
Ratchet
it's weird
Clank.
to think. And this does not. No, I was. This does not count as like their live service stuff, right? Like this is not
No,
even
it does
in their
not.
plans. This is just like they just threw this out there for free. But it's
mode?
interesting to
Live
see
service.
how they're doing it.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go for it. Moving on. If I could pull up the article. Next we got House's new game, Untitled Goose Game devs, called Big Walk.
Not interested.
Moving
at
on.
all.
Okay, Bench, you don't have to say it. That's so rude. Fucking,
You
we'll get to your
say
fucking. I'm saying, I'm just like move on. Dude's like, I'm not interested. This thing looks trash. Where's my Final Fantasy? Moving on. Oh my God, shut up. Another round of trailers came next. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. We got a demo release date for 11th of January. I feel like if you're that close to the game, I'm not interested in the demo. Or just pick up the game, but hey, that's cool. We then just got a musical number for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Fusion's favorite, most anticipated game.
Gameplay.
And we got a gameplay trailer. How you feeling about this one, Fusion?
I thought this showed actually pretty well. I thought the gameplay. I think the combat still doesn't look improved, which I didn't think it was going to get improved. That's not what they want to do with the game, which is fine. It's whatever. I'm probably in the minority when I say like give me better combat in that game. I feel like most people like what that game's going for it. My biggest thing with this thing was like, how are we? This is like 4th time we've seen this game and we still don't have a date. Like, it is insane to me that we're still just saying 2024. Like, get this thing a date, bro.
That lead actor has just gotta like live in LA or something. 'Cause she just like pulls up every year.
Like, it's just insane how much. And I feel like this, when you have a big musical like this, and you're going all out for like this type of trailer, and you're finally showing combat for the first time in 5 years, and you're just like, oh, it's still 2024. What you've known for the past 3 years. Like, you can't give us a window. You can't give us anything. You're telling me you have no idea when this game's coming out in Ninja Theory.
Yeah, we'll say. I mean, I'm just like, as someone who's not really interested in Hellblade, this is not my thing at all. But looking at the trailer, it did look like visually unreal. Like the game looks beautiful, but man, like looking at that combat and you telling me it's like, yeah, that's pretty much the exact same from Hellblade 1. I'm just like, come on, guys, you made action games. You made DMC. You made like Heavenly Sword. I'm not asking you to have like flashy combat like DMC, but at the end of the day, like you can do combat. Like just give me a sword and shield and let me do some cool combos and attacks. I don't know. Like it's just a personal thing, but like yeah, that 2024 date is really sticking to me. Where he's like at least a late 2024. Give us something like that. You know, it's a like even a window.
There was a time when we thought this game could be out now.
Yeah,
they said it was going to be out now. Like, I just don't understand how this game.
We thought it was going to launch with the Series X at first.
This game just lost, and like I hope it's not going through development hell, but it just seems it's so weird how it just hasn't. They just haven't. They've been so like like in the dark with it, but also just I don't know. I just feel like we've seen 5 trailers, and every single trailer we're almost getting the exact same thing. This was the first time we've seen combat, but it's just like I feel like I still am not getting enough of Hellblade, and I've seen the game 5 times. It's the opposite of Deathloop. Like we saw Deathloop 5 different times, and they showed way too much of Deathloop. They've shown like 5 Hellblade 2 trailers, and they've showed not enough.
If I were to guess, I think maybe Ninja Theory just like accidentally like got in too deep with Unreal Engine 5 and didn't realize how long it was going to take to develop this game. Because it's like, yeah, Wolf mentioned it in the trailer. There are some shots that are clearly in-game, like cutscenes in the game, and they look unbelievable. And my only like theory to why it's taking so long is because they're like, oh yeah, this is taking forever to like get like this visually perfect. And I think that's also why maybe the combat isn't great, is because I don't know, maybe they're just so they're so worried about visuals and for the quote unquote experience that I know you don't like very much, Wolf, but I think they're focusing more on that and just having just like this visual feast than necessarily worrying about good combat. The thing is, they got to nail it, because if they don't nail like if the visuals don't look like this or the story falls flat, it's like, okay, what you know, we wasted all this time for this. But I'm excited for it, honestly. I thought it looked great.
Oh yeah, I understand why people are excited for the game. Like definitely, if you're a fan of Hellblade, this is definitely like exactly what you wanted. But I don't know. I guess like me as a skeptic, I'm just like, okay, we'll see what you get. I mean, at the end of the day, it's Game Pass, so I'll play it. Next up, Ikumi Nakamura very much came back. I am a big fan of this person, and she showed off her new game, Kemery. Not much to say. They did not really. It was a CG trailer. This is very much a kind of a theme across the awards, where it's like, okay, like I'm glad you're showing off your new game. I'm a big fan of you, Nakamura-san, but I looked at that trailer and I was just like, I'm not seeing something where I'm like, I will be there no matter what. I'm very much just seeing okay, new game, new Ikumi Nakamura game. Like it has a cool aesthetic, has a cool style, but nothing for me to latch onto yet. Moving on. All right, you guys can gush now. New game from Moon Studios, very much the creators of Ori, a game that I have not played and I get roasted for. No Rest for the Wicked. They say that there's going to be an indie showcase of this game on March 1st. You guys can go ahead and start gushing.
I mean, I'll just go ahead and say, I think that this was probably my reveal of the show, honestly, because I didn't expect Moon Studio to show up at all. Like, I wasn't even thinking. Like, I knew they were making another game, and I can't remember if they said it themselves or it leaked that they were working on like an RPG like a while ago. I forget when it first came out. It was like a Jez Core article or something. But this just looks awesome. Like, they nail it's gonna be the prettiest game on like whatever platform it comes out on, just like the Ori games were. But it's interesting to see like the themes of the Ori games and then coming into this game, and this game looks completely different, like 100%, like completely like super dark and grim, and it's like fantasy. I'm like totally on board. It has a very sick name. Like, you're telling me No Rest for the Wicked has been like a video game name before, and like the logo, the way to have the sword like work as into the T, like I'm so excited. I know Moon Studios has some issues behind the scenes, or at least did. Hopefully that's all figured out. But like, as a pure game and this announcement, I was like super excited. This was a very like much surprise. Like I said, I don't think anyone was expecting Moon Studios here, so like this was just awesome. And the fact that I think this is a next year game. I hope that March 1st, like they go deeper into it and then they're like, hey, holiday or fall.
I hate to burst your bubble, but Moon Studios was tweeting how they need people. They're like looking for job opportunities to work on the game.
Oh no!
To further burst the bubble, it would be early access next year, if anything, with a console release later on down the road. Yeah, us PC boys, we're winning.
I just want to be able to play.
Like you can get your GTA 6 day one. Yeah,
okay. Anyways, I as a fellow Moon, well, I shouldn't say Moon Studio fan because there is issues there. I don't want to. I don't want to support necessarily the whole studio, but the games they have produced, mainly being Ori, I love those games to death. They are amazing Metroidvanias, and seeing them go to like an isometric kind of almost like an ARPG looking game. I don't think it's going to be an ARPG, but just like isometric action game.
That's what they call it. They call it an ARPG actually.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah.
It is like Fusion said, it's weird seeing the Ori devs with blood and gore in their games. But it looks awesome. The setting looks super cool. The music looked great. It looked great, sounded great. So I am very, very excited for the perspective of this game. This might be like my Hades, where I just follow this thing all throughout early access and then just can't wait for the full release.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. Man, did you say you were excited for this game as well? I forget. Moon's not here. All right.
It was mute. I was muted. I mean, yeah, I'm interested. I've only played the first Ori game. I still need to play the second, but it looked really cool from what we had in the trailer. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, but let's get that crap out of the way, guys. Sega is back.
Yes.
Sega has revealed what could be their super game. I don't know if this is the super game, the legendary super game, but they have not revealed one game, not two games, 5 titles in development.
And more.
And more. They stated and more. These games are Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, and Crazy Motherfucking Taxi, baby. We're back. We're so fucking back. This is my goddamn baby. I am a massive Crazy Taxi fan. I always give Sega shit. Because they don't fucking use their IP. They are finally listening and saying, no, fuck you. We're going to use our IP. We're going to use all these IP. We're going to go fucking crazy. We're making new games. Everyone's like, oh, they're remakes. No. You look at the footage. Those are brand new games. That Shinobi game looked fucking awesome. Streets of Rage, hell yeah. Crazy Taxi, y'all. This is easily my favorite game that came out of the show. I am so happy for Sega to finally do something, you know?
I mean, I'm going to burst your bubble just a little bit, but it does seem very much like most of them are remakes of the first game.
Oh,
Maybe
really?
not all of them. One of the big things that was pointed out was if you look at the Crazy Taxi footage, it's the exact same Crazy Taxi 1 map.
Hey, you know what? That's fine. It's a good
Yeah.
map. As long as
So-
Pizza Hut's still there.
And this was just the conversation going around it, and I think I fully believe into the idea. This is Sega. Not all of them are probably made internally. They're probably hiring outside studios to work on these, and these are all going to be smaller titles. Like they're not big AAA games.
Oh, I don't
At least
care.
hopefully,
I don't
at
know
least
AAA
they,
games.
at least they don't hopefully charge $70 for them. But
No. I could care less if they're AAA. Like I just want these franchises to come back.
yeah,
Just use your.
I think what this is just a big, massive overhaul on Sega to it's said clearly in the trailer with the song choices. Let me reintroduce them. Like so, clearly their objective is to reintroduce the new gaming industry with these older franchises. Try to see like which one's the big hit. I think that's their strategy. Is we're gonna make these smaller revivals of all these franchises, see which one's the most popular, see which one's the most financially successful and all that, and then maybe they'll dive in on another entry that's like bigger and more not complex, but like just trying to make it more like a AAA franchise, like a Sonic and Persona and Yakuza. Try to make it one of their bigger ones.
I hear people
I
talk
mean-
about Skies of Arcadia all the time, and I want to play that. So make
And they
that
said
happen.
and many more, so it's very possible Skies of Arcadia,
that
Virtua
could be one of
Fighter,
them.
and others are going to be in there.
I mean, speaking of Virtual Fighter, we actually got an interview. Gene Park talked with the Sega of American CEO Shuji Utsumi, and Okami went ahead and summarized it for us. Sega wants to return to the rebellious energy of the Dreamcast era, very much what you were talking about with like the new energy, new era. Confirms original creators are involved in the Jet Set Radio reboot. Very much Jet Set Radio is not one of those remakes, it is a full-on reboot. Even more revivals are planned. And then on Virtua Fighter, quote, we are evaluating right now. Virtua Fighter doesn't use so many tricks, special moves like in Street Fighter. It's very realistic. How can we make it more dramatic? It's something we're working on. That is the weirdest. I hate Sega. Never mind. But credits Sonic, Yakuza, and Persona for keeping Sega afloat. That's interesting to say the least. But yeah, a lot of interesting details what we were talking about. I'm very excited just because I want Sega to use these IP. This is a treasure trove of IP that they had, and they just never used them. So here we go.
I'm most interested in that Golden Act, but what's very interesting is some people brought this up, and I think I kind of have to agree, even though I don't want it to be. There's a very high likelihood that the Crazy Taxi game could be a free-to-play online game.
Moon.
You broke Wolf.
I was about
to... Moon. You're off the podcast.
don't shoot the messenger, but I can see it
happening.
happening.
Don't say it. Don't tell me, okay? I believe.
It's better to rip the Band-Aid off now than when after they officially announce it.
If Crazy Taxi is bad, that is my Starfield. Whatever the fucking quote is. Anyways.
Starfield?
Oh yeah, shut up. Next game. Next was Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. I'm really excited for this one. This is the Budokai Tenkaichi game that was revealed last year. It seems like they want to give it a new name, Sparkling Zero. Not much got it on. Like we got some cutscenes, we got some gameplay. It looks fucking awesome. I'm gonna play it. Frieza's in the trailer. Cell was in the trailer. That's my goat. But yeah, I'm very excited for that. But we don't really know much else about it. I think it's 2024, but who knows what happens. Next is Dead by Daylight. Frank Stone, I don't know who that is. It's gonna be a single player collaboration for Dead by Daylight. Very much a single player game. I'm interested to hear what Fusion has to say about this, because I know you're very much a Dead by Daylight fan.
Yeah, I don't know if this interests me enough because it's super massive, but I like Dead by Daylight, the game, but I don't think I've never been like, hey, I want a Dead by Daylight like single player. Like that's never been something where I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to play. Like I like Dead by Daylight because of playing with friends and like the multiplayer moments of the game. But I'm never gonna be like, I wanted to play Dead by Daylight in the single player aspect, like personally. There's probably people out there who want to, but not me, and especially
You don't think of it.
I'll sit here and say I'm a super massive hater. I'm not a hate is a strong word, but I just
Damn.
don't. I've never been excited for a game by Supermassive. It doesn't excite me when Supermassive is working with an IP. Like this does nothing for me. I wish they would just like I don't know. Just I don't understand. I don't know who asked for this from the Dead by Daylight side.
Yeah, it's a weird. It was always a weird thing. It's like, you want to utilize that Dead by Daylight IP, but it's like I don't think anyone was like clamoring for this, as you said. So I'm interested to see what it could come out of it. Maybe it's a good game. Who knows? Moving on, we got a weeb game. One I'm actually interested in. Visions of Mana. This is a brand new entry in the Mana series, which is pretty crazy because that is very much a long treasured franchise for a while that Square kind of left on the back burner, and it's cool to see that they're making a new game.
It looked ambitious.
Maybe not the word I would use, but it looks cool. I'm interested. It's not much to say on it. It seems.
Next
I
year,
mean, and I was taken surprised by the fact it's an action RPG instead of like a turn based. So that kind of caught my
Yeah,
attention.
that's always what Mana's been. It's an action
yeah, I'll
franchise.
definitely be playing this. It looks
Also,
really
ambitious was the word I was looking for when I was talking about Sega. Like they're gonna find out which of these franchises are gonna be the most popular, so they can make the next entry
Chris,
bigger and more ambitious. That was the word I was looking for.
Moving on, though, we got a trailer for honestly what might be one of my most anticipated games. Though then they hit me with that release date, and I got really mad. Rise of the Ronin, which is gonna be exclusive to PlayStation 5. Got a trailer, looks fucking incredible, and then Team Ninja looked at me in the face and said, "Oh, it's coming out on March 22nd, same day as Dragon's Dogma 2." Come on,
Dragon's Dogma 2,
guys!
let's go.
All right, so we all
RIP.
need to take a vote right now. Like, who's getting Dragon's Dogma? Who's getting Rise of the
The
Ronin?
fucking Capcom fans are gonna get. I am a freaking fan of Team Ninja. I want to fight for them, but they decided, oh, well, let's release the same day as Dragon's Dogma 2. Like, I get maybe it was already solidified, but like, of course, everyone here is gonna choose Dragon's Dogma 2, and it's unfair.
I'm
I
actually
don't
going
care.
Rise of the
Shut up,
Ronin.
bench. I'm just saying that this game is probably going to be high quality, but it is just this. You got to delay it a month, guys. It's like let's
There's
at the
nothing in
very
April.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
I mean, we
get
should-
they probably want to hit that financial year, but man,
But not to forget that also on that same day of Dragon's Dogma 2 and Rise of the Ronin is Princess Peach Showtime.
Oh,
shit, I
wow.
forgot about that. Oh fuck, March 22nd about to be a goddamn movie. God damn it. That's 3 games I'm only interested. God damn it.
I was
hate
gonna
these
get
companies.
Peach if it didn't launch on the same day as Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm an idiot. I'm gonna get all 3. I mean, listen, I'm just gonna play them all at the same time.
Dragon's Dogma.
Listen, I
need
just
to
wanna
play
say-
the first one.
I am a huge Team Ninja fan. They are such a talented developer. I think they always get kind of the short end of the stick in the gaming press. I feel like not a lot of people want to give them their flowers, but the Ninja Gaiden games are incredible. I thought Wulong was such a fun time. They did Stranger in Paradise, which I'll
Bad
be honest, is
game.
the best. That's the best Final Fantasy game. I just want to put that
Shut
out real
up.
quick.
This is
But-
my Joker arc.
Anyways, but yeah, I'm a huge Team Ninja fan. They are absolutely an incredible developer, and I will be there for Rise of the Ronin. But just maybe change the date. Moving on, Hideo Kojima. Big fan of Hideo
10
Kojima.
minutes of OD.
What the fuck was this presentation? This was easily the low light of the show. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. Maybe this is crazy. I think this is one of the worst video game trailers I've ever seen in my life. I got nothing out of that. I got nothing.
You might be being too generous by calling it a trailer.
That's the thing. It's just mo-capped actors repeating lines. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to get out of this? You can't just sell like Kojima can't go, oh, I'm Kojima. I can do anything I want. I love Kojima. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's ever made a bad game. This is fucking stupid. This was a horrible presentation. This is not the way. And he gets like 10 minutes to be able to talk with Jeff on stage about nothing. I got nothing out of this game other than it's called OD, overdose or whatever, featuring some actors I've never heard of. And Jordan Peele is in it, which, yeah, Jordan Peele, great director.
How is he? How does he horror though? I thought he was like comedy guy.
No, he did Get
moved
Out.
into horror. Yeah, Get Out. Nope.
Yeah.
He's made.
Yeah,
I like
few
him.
horror
He
movies.
quit comedy and went to horror. That's like his true passion, I guess.
Oh my god.
I liked it.
Oh, of course. Okay.
Which is so funny because I hate horror, but like I don't know, I just think it was an interesting.
They're making
Like,
a new medium.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of big words and buzzwords and not really any substance, but like I don't know. I was like, this is just from the just from those like 30 seconds. I was like, okay, there's clearly like something like, I mean, it's obviously horror and there's like something going on, and I don't know. I mean, I'm cool with it.
Was it worth the 10 minutes then?
No,
It's never worth it.
no, definitely not.
This is
My
the game
thing is-
coming out after Mass Effect in like
I just
2030.
hope this is the cloud game, right? And I'm just hoping.
Yes, Xbox.
Like, do we think that's the only way you're going to be able to play this game? Like, it's fully just a
It
cloud
could
video
be.
game?
I don't think it's, I think it's more of like, remember the marketing for Crackdown 3 where they're like, yeah, we're leveraging the power of the cloud to make all these buildings destructible or whatever.
Oh, it's
I-
buzzwords.
I think it's more of that, where I think it's going to be a console game, but they figured out a new way to leverage the cloud in a way that will obviously redefine whatever he's trying to do.
Okay, that makes me more, because like in my head I've just been thinking, if this is like a strictly cloud video game, there's no way I'm playing it. Like I just can't. Like I just actually can't imagine myself playing it. But like I don't know, Koji, like the fact that he brought the PT door out is just like, why would he do that?
That was evil.
Yeah,
That was
like come on. I saw that door and I was like, oh, like we're back. Like that trailer's still one of my favorite things, just like ever. And it's just like,
Yeah.
we're never getting it. Maybe this could be like the spiritual successor, but like I doubt it.
I mean, Kojima with horror, I think he can do it, but man, he wants to use the cloud, and I'm like, I mean, you could just make a horror game. I don't know. I do want to point out, you kind of mentioned, just speaking of evil things, I do want to mention this real quick. Was when Jeff Keighley was introducing Vince Zampella, one of the most evil things this man has ever done. He was like, the creator of Call of Duty, Titanfall, Apex. It's like, what, dude? You don't just emphasize Titanfall like that. And guess what, guys? There was no Titanfall.
Yeah.
Dude, what the hell?
I can't believe he did that. The fact that he said that Titanfall should have been the world premiere. Come on, dude.
Exactly.
what were you thinking?
Like, just say Titanfall normally. You don't have to emphasize it. Moving on, we got Jurassic Park Survival, which was a CG trailer, and then at the end they showed a little bit of gameplay. Did we get anything out of this? Because
It's a
gameplay
cool
looked
concept.
very Dying Light.
yeah.
They said pre-alpha. I mean, it's a good concept. Is all I.
Yeah, it's a great
really say.
concept.
Yeah, good
It's a
concept,
cool
but
concept.
if it's that first-person parkour kind of game of Dying Light, which would it look like from the gameplay, I'm just like, ugh.
Okay, we gotta start rushing through these because there is a lot more stuff
Yeah.
on this. We got Rocket Racing showed off for Fortnite, looks great. Black Myth Wukong, which is currently one of my most anticipated games. We got a date for August 20th. I cannot fucking wait for this game, and I just think everything we've seen about this, it's like, yep, they know the Souls-like genre, they're gonna fucking nail it. Journey to the West is a masterpiece of a story. It very much laid the groundwork for a lot of modern storytelling. So just seeing an adaptation of that. Just seeing an adaptation of that is so exciting to me, and I'm very excited to see what they can do with it. Moving on. We got a trailer for Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. We then got a look. We got a Warframe expansion. There's always a Warframe expansion. We got a new look at Banisher's Ghost of Eden, which, I mean, looks like a great game, but like also it's coming out in that February rush, so very much kind of terrifying in that regard. Hopefully it could carve out a niche there. Ready or Not, which Fusion was talking about this when we were watching it. It's like, how the fuck does it? It's like, how is Ready or Not taken?
Can I also
Yeah,
say they really missed the mark here on this announcement, because how do you not have the title card Ready or Not, and then on the next like transition say Here I Come with the release date? Like, come on, it's right there.
Yeah. That was a weird game. Then Tales of Kenzaru Zao. This was a DNF dual universe game releasing on the April 23rd. I thought this looked fucking incredible. Like, graphically, I love the art style. It's very much looking like a Souls-like. I'm always down for a new one of that game. Everything I've seen about this, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely going to be like up there for one of my most anticipated games. I'm very excited to see what they can do with that.
Wait, which one was this?
Tales of Kenzara. Oh wait, this is a different
Yeah,
game.
that was the different. Yeah.
My bad. The names, I don't know why they looked similar. This is the African mythology game. I am so sorry. This was the game that was African mythology, looks like a Metroidvania. This is all. I mean, hey, you know what? Also, everything I said kind of like is the same. Very much the art style. I'm down. I love the like vibe, the aesthetic. I'm very much in for it. I love Metroidvania, so we'll see
thought it
what we
was
can do
cool
there.
that this was the dev studio was founded by the voice actor of Bayek from Assassin's Creed Origins. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. I love that shit. Next was interesting thing. This is Don't Nod's next game. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. I'm gonna let the Don't Nod fans talk here because I have no idea what the tale of this.
I guess that's my cue.
That's
I-
you, dude.
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot to pick up hard here. It just seems like more Don't Nod style of just interactive movie storytelling, which I'm always down for. Granted, I haven't watched the trailer again since the Game Awards, so maybe I need to rewatch it just to see if I pick up anything. But I mean, yeah, I'm always down for more Don't Nod entertainment.
I'm more like, I like Don't Nod. I don't think they make the best Life is Strange games, unironically, when they created them. Like, they're the creators, but I think like Moon said, this will be like, if anyone on this podcast, like, these are me and Moon type games. So like, I assume me and him will play them. Everyone else here probably won't play them, but like, I need to see more. This trailer didn't do nothing like crazy to me. It's just cool to see. I like the name. I do like the name a lot. So I guess that's all we can
Yeah, I
live
like
up
the
to.
name.
And
That says a
it's
lot.
coming out next year. Like, it's a 2024 game, so like, we should see it within the next couple months. We should get more info.
Looks interesting. Definitely gonna keep my eye out for that one. The next one is the actual game I was thinking of. The first Berserker Kazan. That's the DNF universe game. That's the one where I said all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, I'm very excited for that one. But yeah, and then this was a weird thing. So they showed a concert for FF7 Rebirth, which was very nice. But then they showed the trailer in the background of the game, like for the game. And said trailer actually like showed new stuff off, but they played it during the concert. I found it weird, but hey, I mean, Rebirth fans, you guys can talk about it.
I mean, just like the music in that like performance, and then just like the trailer on its own. This game is just easily my most anticipated, and it's just gonna like fuck me up in so many different ways. I can't wait.
Yeah, this the trailer. If anyone didn't know, Rebirth or the Final Fantasy YouTube put out the actual full trailer on YouTube, and because that was only half of it shown at the Game Awards, and if you know the story, and even if you don't, like, there's so much going on, and I just cannot wait.
I expected Bench to talk more about his most anticipated game of all time. You're a phony, Bench.
You're a pony.
Oh wow, that's messed up. I mean, I think for some reason, I'm probably in the minority here. This musical performance didn't really do nothing for me. I don't know why. I think I would have just. I went back and I did watch the trailer they posted on YouTube, and it's just like, why didn't we just get that trailer?
You got it, and a musical though.
I mean, true, but like, did they say that trailer was up on YouTube? Like, during the show, did they say that at any
Probably
time?
not, but we got it anyways. That's what matters.
I mean, I guess you make
Well,
a valid point.
I mean, all the
Vincent.
trailers appeared on YouTube after the performance.
No, I meant like like they have a totally different trailer.
You're just being a hater.
Like, did you not see the trailer, Moon? Like, they have like an actual different trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
No, it was the
Right?
first.
Or
It was
was
the
it the
same
same trailer?
trailer. They just the performance
That makes
was
sense.
the
Okay.
second
Okay.
half,
Okay.
and then they
okay.
so it was the same.
Okay. That's where it lost me. That makes more sense.
Okay, cool. Moving on. We're gonna try to move past these a bit. They also showed off. So they showed off like, oh, Final Fantasy fans, here's something for you, an Apex event.
I was.
Funniest crossover ever.
What the fuck?
I thought it was
That's-
16 DLC. At least we still got that,
Yeah.
but
I thought it was
Yeah.
14, and then it was really funny that if like there were Titanfall fans going back to the Respawn thing, being like, "Oh, Respawn's gonna be at the awards show. What are they gonna do?" And this is why they were there. Like, what a double like gut punch.
Evil. And he mentioned Titanfall. Like, come on, this is getting too much now. Next up, they showed Honkai, whatever. But then next was they got Skull and Bones got a date, guys. Next was Marvel's Blade, coming from Arcane Leon. This was one of the bigger events of the week, and I'll be honest, I think this was of the event. I was kind of disappointed in this reveal. Not so much for the reveal trailer, but just for the concept of the game. I have nothing against Arcane Leon. I love Arcane Leon. I want Arcane Leon to do good, but I look at what's happening. I'm sorry?
Licensed games.
Yeah,
They'll be
exactly. That's what me and
good, but,
Venture.
I don't
It's what
give
me
a
and
shit
Venture
if it's
talked.
licensed or not. This game is gonna be fucking hype as shit. Blade
that's my problem.
deserves. If this is a character that deserves to have a game, it's probably Blade.
I'll happily be
Blade and
playing it
Ghost
on my
Rider.
PS5.
It's not coming on the PlayStation 5.
Well, okay, we'll get to that in a second. But my big thing is like, I hate seeing developers like Arcade Leon is like, okay, you're making licensed games, because what's gonna happen? Blade's gonna be a success, and it's like, well, just make Blade 2 or make Blade 3, make another Marvel game. It's what's happening with Insomniac. That's why I'm worried about Insomniac's future. It's like, what, are they just gonna be the Marvel studio now? Like, I just value original IPs way more than licensed games. And I didn't get a pop off for this because I'm just like, I would have rather Deathloop 2. I think that's a more interesting title.
Well, I'm really happy that they did a Blade game because I'm a big fan of the character and he does deserve this time to shine.
Yeah, and I also think Marvel's kind of figured it out lately, outside of Avengers, obviously, like their partnerships and showing off games that, outside of Spider-Man, like like Wolverine, Guardians of the Galaxy, like their Midnight Suns, even like
Marvel's Avengers, not Marvel's Ultimate Alliance. I was thinking of Avengers.
Yeah, like I think they've kind of been nailing it recently, and it's cool that both Xbox is finally getting, whether it's exclusive or not, getting their one Marvel game that they can kind of tie their brand to, and Blade himself is getting a game. I think that's just really, really cool for both sides.
I don't.
The one thing I
the
don't like
game's
is
gonna
that
be good.
I don't like that when it comes to Marvel. This game is 100% exclusive in my eyes. I just think the only reason people are doubting it is because it's Xbox, and every time Xbox has a game, they're like, "Oh, it's probably not going to be exclusive." But the thing with Marvel now is like their games are so fragmented. Like if you want to play something, you can never just sit down and play it in one place. If you want to play Spider-Man, you have to go to PlayStation. Yeah, if you want to play like the newer Ultimate Alliances games, assume it looks like Nintendo's gonna have them for whatever fucking reason. And they used to be multi, and now Xbox has Blade and whatever else they just have to pick up. It's starting to get a bit annoying.
I don't doubt Blade's gonna be a good game. I don't doubt Arcane Leon's gonna nail it. Blade's a really cool character. I just don't really like the whole, I don't know, taking a developer that's known for making original, interesting worlds on their own, and it's like, okay, make a licensed game.
It's back
And it's
to
like, I don't.
what we were
Go ahead,
saying
Bench.
about. It's back to like how we were saying, like, we don't need like these extra industries. We have the gaming industry is bigger than anything.
I disagree. I want to see these people make these type of games. If there is this team is perfect for this type of game, and
I also
character works and shit. This is the team to do it.
Yeah, and I also don't think like there's that much Blade stuff out there. I feel like they have
really
a
isn't.
pretty blank slate on making whatever. Like they even said like
him being in Midnight Suns was the big deal, bro.
Yeah, well, and like even like the map, like they said in at the Game Awards, they're like, yeah, we're like given the green light to just make our crazy twisted version of France, and they are located in France, so it's like I think this actually does. This seems like an exciting opportunity for them, and they seem excited, so I don't see why not. But
yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm just like, it's worrying for me. Like, right now, it's not an issue. Like we were saying, like it's not an issue now, but I just think in the future it could be, where it's like, Naughty Dog's gonna make a Mission Impossible game. This guy, like this studio, is making a, I don't know, what's another IP? Jurassic Park, I guess. Like, something like of that regard. And it's like I don't want like a lot of these AAA studios that were known for making their own IPs, like Insomniac. I fear so much that Insomniac's just gonna turn into the Marvel studio.
That's fair. I think the only thing is I am less worried about it if it's like IP we haven't seen before. Like if they just keep pumping out Spider-Man games, yeah, okay, that sucks. But you know, have Wolverine getting a game, Blade getting a game, James Bond just pulling randomly from IO Interactive, like them getting like their first, granted they've had games before, but like first game, meaningful game in a while, like I don't know. I think if it's the right combination, it can still be worthwhile, and there's still plenty of studios that are doing their own original things. And honestly, I think probably for Arcane in general, they need a win after, and I know it's a different team, but I feel like they need a win after Redfall, and this would be a great bounce back.
I know that the news came out where, like, I forgot who it was, but somebody contacted the devs that X about the exclusivity, and they refused to comment.
So
That's just Xbox in general.
No,
Yeah, Shinobi had Bethesda has declined to comment when asked about Blade and Xbox exclusivity.
Yeah, so Xbox, they just they don't like talking about exclusivity. Xbox, unless the court forces them to, in like the ABK deal, that's the only reason they fully came out and said, "Oh yeah, GTA 6 is gonna, not GTA, fucking Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna be exclusive." It's like, I'm telling you, this wouldn't be a conversation point if Sony was the one who presented this. It'd be like, "Oh, you found out it's exclusive." It's the same situation here.
Why didn't they put this on their YouTube channel?
I think it's just pisses too far
This
out.
game, I don't know. I'm genuinely sitting here and I don't think it's exclusive. And maybe I'm just coping, but
I'm with Fusion. I don't think it's exclusive.
you don't. If you're
100%
Xbox,
think it's
if you're
exclusive.
Xbox, you don't buy someone for that much money.
It'd be insane if they don't do exclusivity.
But I'm saying you don't buy someone for that. Xbox has no issue throwing Xbox Game Pass on every other trailer in the world. They want you to know it's day one on Xbox Game Pass. Why was it not day one on Xbox Game Pass? I don't care if it's 5 years out. Showing Blade and then saying day one on Xbox Game Pass is a big get for Xbox. Don't sit here and tell me Phil Spencer wasn't like, actually, we probably shouldn't put day one on Xbox because this is a 2026.
That's the thing. I think a lot of the contracts. I think a lot of the contracts are being signed. That's why I think they literally said they just started development. That's a whole nother issue. We always criticize Xbox for like revealing games too early, and what do? They reveal a game too early. It's like, why am I being excited for this? I shouldn't be excited for this. I don't know. Like, it's just like it's gonna take so long.
Speaking of that timing, tinfoil hat theory. I think the reason we didn't see any Xbox branding or Game Pass branding is because this game is so far into the future, it probably won't be on the series consoles, and we have no idea what the video game landscape is going to look like for that next generation.
Still doesn't explain why they don't have it on their YouTube channel. Like, why not promote your product? It doesn't make sense.
Their product ain't coming out no time soon.
That doesn't stop them from like promoting Fable, which is like 2026.
Listen, I will have like
2 years away.
I will give you more conspiracy theories in that regard if what's it called? Like if like it was not on Xbox's trailer YouTube, but it was on PlayStation's, or it was on like both of their YouTubes, and then I would allow the conspiracy theories. But I don't.
If that was the case, I would like, yeah, it's not happening.
Did
Xbox?
Wait, did Xbox upload that Indiana Jones where he grabs the hat and the whip like 30-second trailer? Because if they didn't do that one, then I don't see what the issue is, because that's clearly just something they're not going to do.
I don't know if they did, to be honest.
And that's like that's literally the same level of like it shows us nothing about the game. It could not even be the same art style for all we know. It doesn't give us any details. Like if they didn't post that, then I don't see why they would post this.
I still think we could be playing this on PlayStation.
Also, I'm looking now. I don't think Xbox posted it.
Which one?
Did not post it.
The Indiana Jones.
I'm trying to look for it.
Yeah, so like maybe that's just a Bethesda thing, and they don't.
That's
you
true.
know, once there's when there's a more legitimate trailer, maybe that's when they'll start taking over.
They don't expect this game on other consoles.
How was that teaser already 2 years ago? What the hell?
It was 2 years ago. What the fuck?
And they just dropped it randomly too.
That's the real thing that I'm pissed out. Like that was like why I was mad about licensed games. You take fucking Machine Games, Wolfenstein, two phenomenal games. We don't talk about Youngblood, but you make these incredible games. It's like make an Indiana Jones game. Who the fuck cares about Indiana Jones? Make another Wolfenstein. I don't know.
I'm thinking that yeah, like I kind of like who cares about Indiana Jones? But I don't think like I don't have an issue with IP games.
I don't either, but I just don't like it when like developers that are known for making like incredible original worlds, original stuff, it's just like, oh, make a license game, and you're stuck in license
That's the thing
game hell,
is, though,
basically.
like you tell, like they made 2 Wolfenstein games. They probably want to make something else.
Keep in mind, I
don't
think
know.
everybody, like when you get into this situation, I think everybody wants the praise that Rocksteady got for the Batman games. Like that is like you're able to say, "Oh yeah, I made the Batman Arcade." That is people will know right away. Like, okay, shit.
Wolfenstein 2 got a lot of praise. I mean, like Insomniac got praise before Spider-Man. Like, I don't know. Like,
I know,
I guess
but,
like,
you
to
get what I'm
break
saying.
out still. No, I understand what you're saying. You wanted to like break out in the mainstream, and they want to do that big like, oh, Batman or Spider-Man, like these triple A like like massive S tier characters. They want to make a game for those universes. But I'm also like, I just personally don't like constricting developers in that regard, like to stick to licenses. I'm fine with licensed games in the industry, but like I just think there's a limit to what I want from licensed games.
I also think that this is direct feedback to them turning down Spider-Man and the crazy amount of backlash that they got for it.
I mean, who is going to make Spider-Man? That's the thing. Who would
I
expose?
don't know. But
yeah, so
the real question is, let's say that this game is good, right? I'm not saying let's say because the game is not coming out no time soon. Let's say the game's good. They get an opportunity to take another character. Who's the other character gonna be? But Spider-Man, Insomniac went for Wolverine, which is a really good pick. I don't know who to go after. Blade. Who you follow that up with?
I don't know, Blade. Like, I just think like Spider-Man and Wolverine are like S tier characters. I feel like Blade, like he's cool. That's like
He's
a
up
B
there.
tier. He's like a B tier. He's not the Spider-Man, Batman, and like
That's the thing is, though,
Wolverine.
Blade is going to become really popular in the next couple of years. He's
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. I hope so. I mean, that movie's going through some development hell, so hopefully it's good. Moving on, we talked quite a bit about Blade. Next was Last Sentinel. We got some details from Shinobi. Play as Hiromi Shota in future Tokyo. Narrative-focused open-world action game. Ambitious living world with mature, thoughtful storytelling. And development since 2019 by vets from Rockstar, Naughty Dog, RAD, and others. I will say, an ambitious living world with mature, thoughtful. Just say it's gonna be a good game. I'm getting tired of this stuff. But yeah, I mean, it looks interesting. But CG trailer, not much to go off of. Next, we got the first descendant from Nexon coming in 2024. MiHoYo showed off Zenless Zone Zero. Very interesting game. Very excited for that one. Mecha Break. Warhammer 40k Space Marines got that date. September 9th, 2024. Is it hit it, guys?
It better. That's so crazy. It's basically a year delay, but whatever.
I don't mind.
I'll take a date.
Every time this trailer for this game comes out, it looks phenomenal. Like this is making me get into Warhammer, and like I never really cared about it before until the first trailer for this game came out.
It's just weird, a little weird that they officially delayed it like 2 weeks ago, and then 2 weeks later they're like, "Oh, so here's the date that we didn't tell you 2 weeks ago when we delayed the game." Like,
they were still thinking of the date.
I
Bro.
guess they had to think.
It's just funny. It's just funny to think about. We then got GTFO, the final chapter, but also the same developer showed off Den of Wolves, their other new game. Make your first game first before you show off a new game, because like when we were watching, we thought it was the same game, but no, it turns out they're separate games. So I don't know what the hell that's going on, but that's 2024. Apparently, we're going to learn more there. Matt Mercer took the stage, showed off Asgard's Wrath 2, which is literally coming out next week. I am hoping that saves my Fantasy Critic League and gives me the victory there. From there, we got a little bit of a trailer for Fallout, but like we already kind of saw the trailer before.
Same trailer just remixed.
Yeah, I don't know why that was there. We got
It looks good.
Alia. Yeah, no, I'm excited for a Fallout show. I think that's going to be a very good show. It's just like, we already played it. Like we saw it. A lot of filler titles, but the next game, Hello Games, ladies and gentlemen, the studio that overpromised in the past. I'm not saying they're overpromising. But they show off their next game, Light No Fire. This was another game I'm very, very much anticipating.
Go.
I am very much a No Man's Sky. I wish I loved that game, but like I haven't played it yet. This looks much more my jam. They're very
this
much
looks
building their
insane.
own Earth, and as they say it, procedurally generated. But I think these guys are a lot better at procedural generation than Bethesda. Wink, wink. But I'm very excited to see what Sean Murray and his team can do now that they've learned the lessons from No Man's Sky's launch.
Yep, and they've been working on this for a long time. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, 5 years already. Yeah. I'm very excited to see what they can do.
I just thought it was funny that like you said, the team that's known for overpromising and underdelivering, and was the first thing he says about his new project. Yeah, we remade Earth. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he noticed that on Twitter. He just says "fuck."
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah, he just said like "fuck." Would someone notice that?
But like, it looks crazy.
It looks cool.
I mean, no, you look at it,
And
and
it's
it's like
fantasy. Like,
they're learning the lessons from No Man's Sky. This is a
You would
studio.
hope,
They
yeah.
were in over their depth from what happened with No Man's Sky, but you know what they did? They went back and fixed it. I want to give them some benefit of the doubt. Obviously, I'm going to remain skeptical until we actually like see more of the game, let it release and everything. But I have hope. I have hope in Sean Murray and the team.
and it's fantasy, so that makes it better than No Man's Sky automatically.
Okay.
He said it, not me. Moving on. Stormgate, not much there. Exaborn, not much there. Guilty Gear Strive, they showed off a new DLC character and 3v3 mode, but it was weird because they showed that off before the show. Like they just released it. I don't know why. Okay, FF16 got DLC. I went to the restroom during this part, so you guys can talk about it.
It's pretty much wrapping up some just very loose ends that they had, and it's still with Clive and the gang. I think the second DLC could have some time travel shenanigans, but we won't know that until spring. I've actually started the first one, and I'll talk about it later. It's just more FF16, which has been great.
Yeah, Wolf, I need you to do your Ben Starr impression again for me.
Joshua.
Nailed it. Those
Is
are my
it that
thoughts.
good?
I mean,
Hey,
it's very good.
Hey, I respect it. Shout out to you, Ben Star. Moving on. We got a trailer for the finals. It's apparently coming out. Like it's out. So I want to actually download that. I've heard some good things about it. And then you got some other stuff going on. One thing I did want to mention: Baldur's Gate 3 was supposed to get announced for Xbox. It's out now for Xbox. So that was a weird thing. They just never actually put in a trailer now on Xbox. But yeah, now it's on Xbox. Xbox fans play it. And then finally, Monster Hunter Wilds, the next Monster Hunter game. They showed very much a little bit of gameplay, but I'll be honest, like I'm very happy for Monster Hunter fans. I'm not a Monster Hunter fan. That 2025 date was like a little bit of a okay, that is further than I thought. So I don't know. Any thoughts on this?
Yep, it looks really good. I might get into Monster Hunter for this, but like, they just didn't show much. It felt like.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've played a pretty good amount of Rise, which was my first Monster Hunter game, and I know a lot of people who are very much into World, which is technically the predecessor to Wilds, and nothing really caught me by surprise. I mean, obviously the trailer did, but like looking at the game, I think what's interesting is that, I mean, they're clearly not ready to show combat or any monster hunting per se, but it seems like they're very deliberate with showing the environment, like how big the draw distance seems to be, because Monster Hunter maps are really good at confining you into tight spaces. You're usually not in these open landscapes like that. So hopefully that is actually going to be representative of gameplay. And then the other thing, well, actually there was more, but the next big thing was how dense the monsters were. Like there was usually when you're playing again using Rise as the example, and I think it might be a little bit outdated because I think World had some differences, but I know in Rise for the most part you're not really battling, like there can be multiple monsters on the map, but like we saw like a horde, like it was Lion King, like a stampede. and that is a really interesting kind of addition, because to my knowledge, they didn't have these massive stampedes or these hordes of enemies to that degree in the older games, and I think that is a testament to it probably being next gen only, because it's more
is.
CPU power they can harness there.
Confirmed next gen only.
Okay, well then great. Yeah, I think leveraging like a newer CPU to be able to like handle that many more monsters on the screen will be awesome. And then also the traversing of your character on their mount, that all looks new and really really cool. And I think they learned hopefully some lessons from Rise, because the kind of grapple whip
Yeah, they gotta
in
have
that game is a lot of fun and really great, and so I think they're really starting to add like a lot more traversal. But yeah, I'd say is Rise still on Game Pass?
No, I think it left recently or is about to leave.
No, I
Okay.
think it's still there.
Well, regardless, if you have Game Pass, I would say go try Rise. I will warn you, it is they are not very good at giving tutorials. I had to look up a lot of things on YouTube and Reddit and figure it out on my own. But once you get the gameplay loop, you get it. So if you guys are interested, definitely check out Rise first and get your feet wet.
Yeah, I will say it's interesting. There was no word on a companion piece. I feel like there's going to be a companion game for Switch, because Monster Hunter is
Stories
massive
3.
in Japan, and the Switch is absolutely huge. Sorry, go ahead, Bench.
Stories 3. I've played Stories. Just make another one of those. It was great.
Well, no, I think they're going to make an actual like Rise style game for Switch, because like Monster Hunter is massive in Japan, and the
Make
Switch is
Stories
massive
3.
in Japan, and
Make Stories
Rise was absolutely. I heard you. And yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine like something like that, but I don't know. It's exciting for Monster Hunter fans. I'm interested to see what they can do with that. But that's everything in the Game Awards. Everyone's still holding on.
Ryan.
All right. Well, you know what? I will say real quick. Final ratings on the show. I'd probably give it like 7.5, maybe an 8.
8.5.
Give it a 7.
I'd give it an 8.
I'll give it an 8, and I will be tuning into the Dice Awards.
B plus.
When
I
is the
hate
Dice Awards?
I think
hate
it's like
Dice Awards
April
events.
or March.
Oh wait, is that far?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
they
that's
actually
very
wait
fast.
till the end of the year for
Oh,
the games
that's
that
Oh
not the
they'll
end
my
of the
put out.
year.
god. You're a Golden Joysticks fan and you're going to say this? Okay.
What do you mean the end of the year? That's 3 months into the next year.
Yeah,
They
well,
let it settle on your mind.
yeah, they
No.
make sure they can't, and no one can say recency
I
bias.
would not be there.
You know what the problem is with that though is like by the time those awards roll around, we're still
Nobody
going to be
cares at
knee
that
deep in
point.
Yakuza and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, like people are going to be playing 2024 games and being like, this game's winning game of the year this year, and Dice Awards is gonna be like, actually, last year this game. Like, no, that's insane.
Okay, wait, it might be February.
It's
It is
Even
February.
not much better.
Greg Miller hosts it. Moving on.
If it's like the first week, I could see it, but
It's
if
like
it's
the
any
second week.
later,
We got some childish people on the podcast. They want to get out of here, so we're going to try to run through the other topics quick. This is an interesting one. So Eurogamer had this one from Vicky Blake. PlayStation will soon remove digital content from players' libraries, even if they paid for it. PlayStation has begun emailing players to inform them that due to content licensing arrangements from 31st December, some Discovery content will be removed from players' library even if they paid for it. The statement, which says the change only affects Discovery content for now, doesn't explain why content is being removed nor apologizes for it. All it does is thanks players for their continued support. As of 31st of December 2023, due to our content licensing arrangements with content providers, you will no longer be able to watch any of your previously purchased Discovery content, and the content will be removed from your video library. The brief statement explains. We sincerely thank you for your continued support. Thank you. I don't like this at all. I know everyone's gonna say, "Oh, who cares? It's Discovery content," but I just don't really like the idea of them saying, "Hey, that thing you paid for, you don't own it anymore." Listen. All I'm saying is, watch out for the future. This is gonna be an issue in the future, and Sony, don't be surprised if people pirate your stuff in the future. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, Bob, did you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of right. It is kind of this weird discovery content, and to my knowledge, Wolf, you'd probably know better than me. The PlayStation Store doesn't like they stopped letting you buy like TV and movie stuff on their store.
Yeah, you can't buy them.
Yeah, so I think they've been slowly phasing this stuff out anyway, for maybe fear of this. And we know like the streaming companies are really weird right now with pulling their content for tax breaks or whatever. So it's not completely surprising, but yeah, I think the least the Sony could do is like be like, hey, sorry, whatever you purchase will give you like in-store credit, to use like or refund you or compensate you in any kind of way. But at the end of the day, I think it's like it's obviously a something that I hope doesn't happen in the future, but hopefully it just stays the TV and not games, because the second a game gets taken off the store,
Don't be surprised if people pirate your stuff. That's just what it is.
sure, yeah, I mean
Like,
it, yeah, it
absolutely
just
fucking garbage.
it just sucks that it's like it's becoming more and more apparent that it's a rental rather than I mean we always knew that, right? But like it's becoming, but like now it's like,
more
oh,
obvious than usual.
maybe it's a rental for like 20 years. Nope, it's like 3. Like
yeah,
that
that's the thing.
that
Is like
sucks.
I'm surprised that I'm not surprised when this was first starting to take off, but we've been in the streaming years for quite a while now, and you would think these contracts would be written for quite a while.
The problem is these contracts are kind of written in the apex of digital content like this. So it's like, oh, people are still going to be buying movies, and then we'll renew it. But then they realize that they already got rid of buying digital movies, so they didn't really make a contingency clause in that regard. And to them, it's not important enough. So yeah, I'm frustrated as hell by it, but it's just we have to call them out when they do shit like this. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Moving on. Fortnite. All right, kids, wake up. 7-year-olds. Big Bang event was an epic adventure that sets up new Lego racing and music games. This comes from Adam Baker's at IGN. The event began when a meteor struck the map and collided with the 0 point. They opened up a tear in space and time that took you everywhere around through multiple realities and dimensions. There was an Eminem concert too, by the way. They In the article, they noticed, luckily, this was actually a tease for the upcoming LEGO Fortnite survival game heading to Fortnite on December 7th. We don't know too much about the game mode yet, but this glimpse has us very excited. The game eventually came out because it's past December 7th. And then we also got Rocket Racing, which is developed by Psyonix, the creators of Rocket League. That's going to be on December 8th, which, again, already happened. And finally, we got Fortnite Festival, which would be a new music game. This is the one I'm actually excited for. I don't care about the other two. That this experience introduced us to, and will let you and your friends perform on stage with hit music by their favorite artists. Guitar Hero and rock bands Harmonix is the team behind this one, and it will debut on December 9th with The Weeknd. No, okay. Could have done with a better musician, but hey. Anyways, very exciting. A lot of great new game modes. You children, you've been playing like I'm sorry, I shouldn't be calling you children, but like you guys have been playing Lego Fortnite at least.
Yeah.
All right.
Lego Fortnite has been very fun. It's just like harder Minecraft. So that's been fun.
Wait, harder than Minecraft?
Yeah, it's got a pretty difficult start.
You didn't
In a
have
good
like
way.
hardcore Minecraft.
That's up there in difficulty, but these are like full-blown games. They're not even just game modes. They put a lot of time and effort into these things.
Oh yeah, no, I mean for sure. It's interesting. It's very clear Fortnite wants to be a platform at this point, right?
I will say that for whatever reason, me and Benj played the car game, like the kart racer. The controls are a little bit funky, but like, I don't know if you can change the controls or like alter them. If you can, I'm gonna do that. But besides that, it was a lot of fun.
I think it's kind of weird that like with these brand new games, you can't. You have to play them inside of Fortnite. I'm down for it. Like I play Fortnite, but it's like I don't know, like the Rocket Racer game mode. Like I feel like that could have been its own game in and of itself, or at least like something outside of the Fortnite launcher. It very much seems like they want Fortnite to be this platform in and of itself.
Do I have to install Fortnite to play these games, or are these
Yes.
separate
Yeah.
installs?
Yes.
Oh gosh,
That's
a
the
lot of
problem.
That's the
gigabytes.
problem.
Yeah,
There's
I don't have enough time because we're already running long to go into it. But as a Rocket League fan, I am very disappointed and kind of upset by the changes that Epic are making. I mean, they own the company or they own the devs, so like I get it, and I mean they can come out and say that they're still working on Rocket League, but the community is not happy right now, and it seems like the end of the line for. Not to get dramatic, but it does seem like Rocket League is not going to be around for much longer, or at least get meaningful updates for much longer.
Yeah, that's interesting to say the least. I'm gonna be seeing where they go from here. Moving on, we got a Dragon Age tease, ladies and gentlemen. They showed a little trailer. Yeah, this is from the Dragon Age Twitter account. This is Thetis. Enjoy it while it lasts. We're celebrating Dragon Age Day with a look at Dreadwolf. Not the release date, but the next trailer for Dragon Age, the next like look at the game is not until summer 2024. Full reveal. We thought this game was going to be at the Game Awards. So that just kind
Yeah,
of
I'm
tells
happy
you
this came out before the Game Awards because everyone would have been like expecting it at the Game Awards.
what is happening with BioWare, man. I don't know what's going on. I get it's not the same BioWare as like the Mass Effect trilogy and the Dragon Age trilogy, but it almost feels like this is a company that's like going through a lot of struggles right now.
And the thing that it's just think of when this game was announced and we still haven't like seen gameplay or like anything. I guess we've seen like a few trailers, but like it's just
I
like
mean,
the
we
only
saw
gameplay
that.
we've seen of this is that like the leaked like
Yeah.
super early gameplay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to be excited because it's just like, oh yeah, here's a little tease. It's like some environments. It's like see you in like 6 fucking months. Like what? So I mean, I don't know. Did that change your theories for the release date? Because we were pretty certain that this game was 2024. Like, do you guys still think it's still 2024?
Um,
Yeah, I would. It has to hit holiday.
I think
Like
it
I
would
would
be
think so.
holiday.
Same. Yeah, I'm with you. Moving on. This is a weird story. Uh, this comes from Nathan Grayson over on Twitter. Twitch is completely shutting down operations in Korea, citing costs. This is from the press release. Ultimately, the cost to operate Twitch in Korea is prohibitively expensive, and we have spent significant effort working to reduce these costs so that we could find a way for the Twitch business to remain in Korea. First, we experimented with a peer-to-peer model for source quality. Then we adjusted source quality to a maximum of 720p. They were stuck with 720p back there. Holy shit. While we have lowered costs from these efforts, our network fees in Korea are still 10 times more expensive than in most other countries. Twitch has been operating in Korea at a significant loss, and unfortunately, there's no pathway forward for our business to run more sustainably in that country.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
this is fucked
This is
up because like esports is South Korea and like so many like you're putting people out of a job. Like I don't think they understand like the circumstances they are doing with just shutting
I'm
it
pretty
down
sure
in
they're
the
well aware of
country.
the circumstances.
Like this is just like completely fucked.
Yeah,
just
it's weird. Yeah, for that same reason, like League of Legends and well, for a time, Overwatch and like Valorant, like these are all primarily shown on Twitch, and I didn't realize it was 10 times more expensive. I wonder if that's like an internet thing, like specifically in Korea or like a government. Like I don't know where like that like tax, I guess, is going on those expenses. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's definitely a huge loss for these esports and these games, and I do wonder, like, are they going to migrate to YouTube? Are they going to migrate to God forbid Kick, or
oh,
are they
no,
going
no,
to
no,
try
no.
and are they going to try and create their own platform? Because like I don't know if you guys know this, but like China doesn't have. I mean, it might be obvious, but China doesn't have Twitch. They have is it Billy? I forget the name of it, but they have essentially their own platform. And the only reason I know that is because a lot of Overwatch League fans would cope and be like, well, actually, they don't have the YouTube numbers from China, and it's huge in China. So maybe South Korea can find their own kind of competitor that's only local for Korea. But yeah, that definitely sucks, and it's going to be really interesting to watch this going forward.
Lots to say. Lots to say. That's just a weird fucking thing. I mean, I don't know. Twitch, masters of making bad decisions. Let's just be honest here. And they made a good decision recently, so I don't know what's going on. This seems like a higher up at Amazon thing.
I mean, it's
we'll see.
literally losing them money.
Yeah, if it's costing them 10 times more than any other country and they're running at that massive of a loss, it's like I mean I know Amazon has money, but it's like that's not good business to just keep running yourself into the ground.
Yeah, I get it. It's just weird. 720, I still can't get over it. They were like watching League of Legends streams at 720p in happiness. Like, man, I feel bad.
Like some of those bit rates though get really wonky at 1080 or above, so it actually could have been a better experience, but that's just me.
We'll see. Moving on. This is a really interesting story. Quote, this comes from Tom Ivan over at VGC. Bungie's position as an independent Sony subsidiary is reportedly under threat. When the PlayStation maker announced its intention to acquire the Destiny studio last year, said Bungie would continue to operate independently, maintaining the ability to self-publish and reach players where they choose to play. Post-acquisition, Bungie would be an independent subsidiary run by its board of directors, chaired by Pete Parsons and Bungie's current management team, Sony said. According to a new IGN report, the company's board is currently made up of PlayStation Studio head Herman Holst, Sony Senior VP Eric Lempel, Bungie co-founder Jason Jones, CTO Louis Villages, and Parsons, who served as the tiebreaker vote. But the current split board structure is reportedly contingent on Bungie hitting certain financial goals. If it fails to do so, Sony can plan to dissolve the existing board and assume full control of the company it's claimed. In October, Bungie staff were reportedly warned that revenue was running 45% below projections for the year, which Parsons said is attributed to poor player retention for Destiny 2. I mean, I'll ask right off the top. Do you guys think this goes through like a Sony takes full control?
They need to. They need to. Like Bungie doesn't have the right to be special baby boy and have a say in how they want to be run anymore.
It was very much their like contract that they signed, but it's very clear. It's like, okay, you guys are not doing
it's
good.
the contract that they made with Sony.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the contract, they're not going what Sony were envisioning for that company. So Sony has full control. You say, you know what? No, you guys don't know what you're doing. We're gonna take over.
I just can't get over like the complete 180 we've seen from Bungie in pretty much a year.
Crazy.
They had what was the DLC before last? Before Lightfall.
Witch King.
Yeah, it's
Queen.
When Witch King came out, I mean, they were on top of the world, and people were praising, how far like the game has come, and then they get the Sony acquisition, and people are like, oh, this is such a savvy move from Sony, and it could prove so beneficial for their live service, and now we're talking about like the game just being in an awful state. Internal turmoil, and now like Sony having to like take over, and it's like, ooh, man.
Interesting that Bungie always wants to be like independent, and I feel like because right now they're like still basically independent under Sony. Like as of right now, obviously it's probably gonna change, but it's funny how I feel like Bungie always wants to be so independent, but they can't survive being independent. It's very odd where they're like, I don't know. I just feel like they've always, I would say their best days were under Xbox.
And then it was Activision, and now it's Sony.
Well, no,
they always blamed the people.
Yes.
Who
I know. I would say they always blame the publisher, and it's like now they can't blame anyone except themselves. And it's just it feels like it's something internally in Bungie isn't working. And finally, Sony is someone's finally, which is Sony in this case, is like, do you guys actually know what you're doing? They're like, we might have to jump in here.
Handle this from now on.
Which again, Bungie made the contract.
I don't think Bungie thought this through. I thought they probably thought like, oh yeah, we're just gonna use them for money, and then we'll stay afloat with Destiny 2, because our community has us covered. Obviously not.
They would have been better off not releasing Lightfall.
I think it was interesting though, going back to like blaming the parent company that they've worked for. I don't know if you guys saw it with the latest like big update for Destiny, they had like this starter pack where they you
I
literally
saw
pay
that
like
shit.
$20 for like this gun bundle, and it's like borderline pay to win, and it's really scummy, and it's like they didn't even do that under Activision of all people, and now they're doing it under Sony, but it's like it's kind of sounding like, but you're independent, so
They
it kind
removed it, right?
of they did, yes, but
I
after
wonder if that
fan
was Daddy
feedback.
Sony coming in.
Yeah, it could have been fan feedback, could have been Sony, but it's like either way, it's they wanted to blame Activision for Destiny 2 and all of these poor decisions. And it's like, oh, it was Activision made it, so it's like maybe it was actually Bungie this whole time. So, it's still crazy.
There's been too many
Let it be known.
blames on their publishers for it to not be them at this point.
This is
You
the
know what I mean?
company.
Right.
This is the company. They were like, guys, we have to cut costs. They looked at the guy who was resume, who was making the music for every Halo game, every good but like a Destiny expansion. They looked at him and said, "Yeah, you're not making the cut."
To be fair, I think he was retiring as well, but like still.
I think he retired because of what happened. He's like, you know what, I'm
I
done.
can see that, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was a
also wonder
forced
if-
retirement.
I wonder if Destiny's like not Destiny, if Bungie's kind of over Destiny, but they have no idea what else to do because that's what they are right now. Like
They're
Bungie
doing
is
Marathon.
Destiny. Well, yeah, they have Marathon coming out, but like we have no,
They have
like, I
another
just
game
feel
outside
like-
of that.
yeah, they have other IPs they're working on, but until we get those games, like Bungie is Destiny. Like, and they've been doing it since what? When was Destiny 1? 2014.
Yeah.
It's been a decade of just pure Destiny. At some point, they're probably like, and they're locked. They didn't want to make Destiny 2. Like, we all know that they did not want to make Destiny 2. That was an Activision call. So like, at some point, Bungie's probably like, dude, we just want to get out of. I'm sure they still love the Destiny universe and what they created, but I'm sure also a lot of them were like, we just want out of Destiny. Like, can we
They're
do
making-
something else? Can we go someplace else?
They're making sure Factions doesn't come out. Don't worry, Fusion.
Nope, I don't.
Dude,
I don't
Factions is
trust them
coming.
after this.
No,
The
no,
fact
no,
that
no.
This
If
was the
Sony
team that
takes
shut down
control,
Factions. Nah, Factions was probably
Sony-
heat, and they were scared.
for real.
What is this copium you guys
It's
are
not
huffing?
copium, bro.
Wait, what?
They-
Now you're a
someone was
Factions
taking it.
unbeliever? Oh
They
my
saw
god.
that and was like, "Oh, Factions is gonna steal our lunch money. We gotta do something."
Oh, Fusion.
You did not, Bob. You have not played Factions. Factions is fucking awesome.
I'm not.
It is the
Listen,
best
I'm
part.
not trashing Factions. I just think it's not coming out based on the current situation.
I'm gonna need a Jason Schreier story of what exactly Bungie said.
What did they
This is a
see?
quote, word for word quote.
It's like, not enough bullshit loot boxes. Let's leave.
You know what the funny thing is? Imagine if like I don't know, like, and we don't know what they're seeing or something, but imagine if like Bungie was actually like giving good advice. They're really shitting on them.
Yeah, it's such a fascinating story.
I believe. Moving on. Okay, this is the last
Hold
news
on,
story. This is
can I jump over?
yeah, go for it.
If Sony completely grabs them, does Bungie now become exclusive?
Yes.
No,
No, not for
Yes.
their live service stuff like Marathon.
not for
they-
Destiny.
Not for Destiny. And I don't think for Marathon either.
No, I think it does.
You think if PlayStation fully grabs
they
Bungie,
don't
they're like,
get-
you're under us
Bungie
now.
doesn't
You
get
don't
a
think
say.
they-
Sony
I was just
gets
saying,
the
I think they go exclusive at that point.
They go full
Maybe
exclusive.
not Destiny, but if PlayStation's
Destiny
like,
will stay
okay,
because
you're
it makes
now
money.
us.
Destiny's like the Call of Duty. It's not gonna go
This is
exclusive.
PlayStation, guys. They do everything exclusive. They don't care about the
Not
Xbox.
Destiny.
No,
That's
but
the
like
thing. Destiny's too big.
but even with Marathon, like again, going back to Call of Duty, it's like you'd be shooting yourself in the foot to.
Oh, I
like,
don't think
to
Marathon. I'm talking
turn
about like
away-
there's been Bungie
Yes.
has rumored single player like IPs
Yeah,
out
if,
there.
yeah, I think their single player would go exclusive, but like anything multiplayer, like focus, like they would be the stupidest. That would be the stupidest
At least come
decision
to
to make
PC.
that exclusive.
Like at least.
Sure.
It should come everywhere, but you know what I mean.
So this last story, this is a goofy one. Me and Bench fought to keep this one on. Okay, I'm just gonna go over it real quick because it's dumb. This comes from Jordan Midler at VGC. Outgoing PlayStation boss Jim Ryan presented with PS1 style PS5 at Thank You Party. In images posted to social media by a PlayStation employee and event attendee, Ryan is showed enjoying drinks with fellow SIE staff. Ryan was presented with a one-of-a-kind PS5 styled after the original PlayStation, which I wish they would release. Attendees were also served cookies with Jim Ryan's face on them, and if you see, they just say in big bold letters, "Thank you, Jim," with his goofy little grin. I don't know why this story is so funny to me.
I'm letting you know now.
I don't
If
think he was
somebody-
fired,
If
guys.
somebody takes this damn cookie and freezes it, and like in 50 years, this shit's gonna be worth so much fucking.
I'll buy it. I'll buy it. At that point, this
Yep.
podcast is like huge in the mainstream, so we'll be.
Yeah,
all
good
of
luck
that.
trying to
You know,
outbid Jeff Grubb.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
I hope the party already happened, so I hope somebody saved it and is freezing. But you have money in your hands.
I want this Jim Ryan.
That's an
cookies.
investment.
Yeah.
What would the Jim Ryan cookie taste like?
Jim Ryan?
Perfection. I mean, yeah, I'm glad they sent it off Jim with a smile. It seems like he got a good
He's
retirement
worked in there
party.
for 30 years.
Perfection. Are we gonna skip over that?
I
Wait,
think
what?
Jim
I think
Ryan's like legacy is just him being eaten by somebody else.
I think his cookie tastes like jet lag.
I mean, I look at this party. I'm like, dude, I want to be there. This looks fun. I want that
Was
PS1
he even
style
at the party?
PS5. He was, yeah. He was there.
Okay.
You could see him.
Yeah, you think they threw a party and he wasn't there?
That would be weird.
They just had a Jim Ryan party and the
Let's
dude's
just
not even
celebrate
there.
Jim Ryan and he's over in the Bahamas.
He
it's
zooms
like there's a
in like
party
it was the court hearing. He just joins on Zoom. He's like, "Hey
Oh,
guys."
Yeah.
He's just there on an iPad.
But yeah, we'll miss you, Jim Ryan.
Thank you, Jim.
Moving on to what we've been playing. I also see someone put in the doc for the topic of the show. Please wrap it up, and I think we're ready to wrap it up. But we got a lot of games that we've been playing. Bob, you have like 80 games here. I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah, I'll rapid fire it because I don't get to come on weekly. So
Oh, yeah. Go for it.
lately WarioWare Move It. If you played WarioWare, you know what you're getting into. I think some of the movement-based games are really fun, and I think some of them are actually kind of bad or don't necessarily pick up your movement. It's almost like Wii era where it's like, yeah, this isn't exactly what I did with my controller or the motion I made, and that doesn't feel great, but overall a solid little game and always a fun party game. I did have fun with it, but I liked what was the first one on the Switch?
Get It Together.
Yes, I like that one more. Liza P. Yeah, it was good, but it was like, yeah. Liza P. I also beat recently. Great game. I think the biggest compliment I could give it is I forgot it wasn't a FromSoft game at points. And I think that's the biggest compliment I could give it. Really good world, really good story. I love, like, it's crazy how I can like a Souls-like game when they tell me the story.
Bob, dude, there is a story. You don't just not every game needs to be gameplay cutscene. They try something different and people get all pissy about it. God.
I might have to play Liza P now.
I'm just
Oh my God.
saying
It's
it's
not
not. Listen, I'm not saying that there is a right and the wrong. I just have a preference, and I prefer the way Liza P told me my story.
It's the same. What does
It's
Liza
not.
P do different? Oh my God. You're just saying that because you don't like From Software. This is insane. This is actually
What?
what I find.
Whoa,
this
I think
hatred against-
I've played the
This is
most outside of you. I've played the most FromSoft games out of anybody here.
No, Dark's played them all.
I've played more than you those play.
Okay,
Yeah.
the third most biggest FromSoft fan here. I don't like the
It's the
vague
exact same
or
way
like you
everybody
have to
else.
seek out storytelling. I'm sorry, I just don't like that. I don't think that's
It's
interesting.
Not, no, okay. I'm just wondering because Liza P literally does the same thing. It's you get more cutscenes and that's it. Like I don't think I still
they
think you have
give
to
you-
seek out that story.
They give you so much more context in like the boss fights and in the cutscenes and in the hotel. They give you a ton of context. And
They do that in FromSoft games. You just weren't paying attention.
no, it's not. I disagree. I fundamentally disagree. Anyways, Liza P, great game. Really, really, really liked it. Super Mario RPG.
Game of the year.
Wolf, how's it going?
Oh, it's great. It's great. I've been playing it.
I just want to point out that I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago at this point. I fundamentally disagree with everything Bench and Wolf said about this
Okay,
game.
me?
Like,
Come on, I said something.
Wolf,
No, no,
I
no,
beat the
listen,
game.
listen. I'm not saying you guys were like complete or like you were being mean about. I'm just saying I disagree because I just adored everything about this game.
Fair enough.
And I had a great time with it. It's just super charming. I think it looks really good. I thought the combat was interesting enough to keep me going, and really good character. Shout out Mallow. I mean Gino too, but Mallow I really liked.
Like, you can shout out
Bench,
Mallow,
let him
but
talk.
What? No, go ahead, Bench.
like Gino has like 3 lines. Like, what is there to like?
No, I think it's more of like a Zelda thing or fuck Link thing where Link never talks, but people love Link, and he's just
Hair,
the silent.
Gino, Link.
That's true.
He's,
That,
I
well, no,
mean,
he's right though. Listen, I mean,
he's the
Link
silent
doesn't really have a
protagonist that does all
personality.
the combat and never fucking talks, and everyone talks for him. I mean, I don't know how that isn't
People
Link.
don't talk for Gino. He's just there.
I mean, Link does talk. Does his journal is written in first person? No, he talks in the
Yeah,
journal.
so you're right. So he doesn't talk.
Yeah, but he doesn't talk out loud. So,
But,
why are we hyping up Link as a protagonist? I don't think everyone's like,
Link is the link between the player and the game.
oh
All
my
right.
god, you did not pull out that
Anyway,
Miyamoto quote. Continue, Bob.
Super Mario RPG, I really liked. It's definitely near the top of my games of the year this year. I loved it. I also played Alan Wake 2. I am not a horror person, and so therefore I am a lot lower on Alan Wake 2 than I think a lot of people are, but at the same time, I do respect the game. I really did when I wasn't being scared shitless from the stupid jump scares that were totally pointless and fuck that elderly house. I think I had a really good time with it, and I appreciate what they were trying to do with the game, and I think they totally exceeded on their vision. It's just not for me. And then Super Mario Wonder. I mean, hey, great 2D Super Mario platformer. Absolutely loved it.
Okay, good. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. Listen, game of the year. I don't know if about that, but I think it is in my top 6.
Nominated.
I think it's in my top 6. So you know what? I can't even like say that I wouldn't have put it for top best 6 games. And then Star Ocean Second Story R. I'm currently playing that. I am enjoying that a lot. It's a remake of the old PlayStation 1 JRPG. The HD 2D graphics are amazing. I really like all the gameplay elements between the skill system that just totally opens up the game in a way I wasn't expecting. It's not turn-based, it's real-time action combat, and I think it plays really well, especially once you get a party going. The story's interesting. The music is phenomenal. I am shocked that I am listening to that soundtrack all the time. It's amazing.
90 Square.
Yeah, it's so good. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. And then finally, my game of the year, figuring out how to mod Skyrim.
You've been on this for way longer than I expected you to.
Yeah, so I got a new graphics card, and I watched this video on how to play or how to mod Skyrim, because I've never actually done a full playthrough, or at least a full enough playthrough. I've always dropped it after like 10 or 20 hours, and I was like, oh, I should do a total visual upgrade. And turns out Skyrim is when you get that deep into modding Skyrim, it is an absolute nightmare, and I don't know how people do it. And it's just I am a tinkerer, I am good with tech, and it's so above my understanding. It's very it's crazy. I'm sorry?
Just hire someone to do it for you. That's what I usually do with stuff like this.
So the thing is, it's even the mods I'm installing, it's this installer that does it itself, but then I'm trying to go in and tweak it. And long story short, the one I was trying to do, that I was trying to make it visual only because it wasn't pure vanilla, it was too hard to customize. So I then decided to try a different one that I downloaded tonight. So hopefully next time I'm on, I'll have an update there.
Next time you're on, hopefully. Moving on. Bench. What about
I have unfortunately dropped Star Ocean for the foreseeable future,
you?
as
Bro hates every game Bob likes. That's what's crazy, you know.
I just have other things I want to play after one of the
Yeah.
best games I've played this year. Oh, what were you gonna say, Bob?
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, you have other games to play like Starfield and Super Mario RPG, right?
I do plan to go back to Starfield,
Oh, poor unfortunate soul, you.
but I've been playing one of the best games, like my number 2 or number 3 that I've played this year, Red Dead Redemption 2. This game, it just gets better as you play, and it's just like things happen. The pacing is immaculate. I actually really like the gameplay. I think the realism helps with the gameplay, and like the Deadeye is just a fun mechanic, even though it just slows down time. And like the characters, Arthur Morgan's fantastic. Just like the whole like the Vanderlyn gang, the Dutch is just a great character. Oh, I can't gush about this game enough. Like the map is just this is one of the best looking games I've played like ever. It's just absolutely fantastic game. I think about it all the time now.
Rockstar just knows what they're doing. You know, that's all it is.
Yep. And then I actually started up the Final Fantasy first DLC, Echoes of the Fallen. About an hour in, I think it's like 3 hours. Had a bit of a slow 30-minute start, kind of building stuff up, and then it really picked up where I'm at now. And I fought a boss that was very, very cool and really like challenged the gameplay. It was actually like a hard boss in the game, so it was fun.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 16, Game of the Year. Fusion.
Number 2.
What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Too many games. That's all I know. I beat Cyberpunk. I didn't beat it last time we were on the podcast, right?
No, you didn't. You were literally
Okay.
like last.
I was just saying. I think I was like on the last, like close the last mission. Roll credits on Cyberpunk and Phantom Liberty. Fantastic game. I have some issues. I'm not gonna go into them here, but that game went from I almost wanted to drop it after 5 hours to like maybe a top 25 game of all time for me, which I know Bob here and Wolf here would hate to hear that, but the writing, the
I mean,
characters,
I get it. It's fine. I'm not mad about it.
they have some impeccable quest and side. They just do things really well. City, like the city still doesn't do what the city was supposed to do, and I 100% agree. I could see your guys' argument. I remember Bob months ago was on the podcast about he just didn't feel like the city felt alive enough, or he couldn't go. Like nothing they added in the Phantom Liberty and all that fixed what you guys had issues with the game, but those issues weren't big enough to take away the experience and like the love I have for the world and the characters and everything else.
I fully understand. I fully understand why you love the game. I mean, like it comes down. I think me and Bob kind of agree. The issue really for us was the city and also the RPG aspects. It felt like none of the choices really mattered, and like I wasn't able to build the character I wanted. It very much told. It felt like they were just telling me a story at that point.
Yeah, Phantom Liberty has important choices. So I think Phantom Liberty does fix some things. You're just not going to get everything you wanted from Cyberpunk. I think it's in the way of you didn't get everything you wanted from Starfield, except Starfield did it way worse. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's kind of in that vein of same thing. But anyways, really good game. Everyone should play it. Then I decided, okay, I need some smaller titles here before I jump into probably Red Dead Redemption 2. I played the Portal games for the first time.
Oh, they're so good.
There we go.
And these games are fantastic. I mean, these games are sick, dude. Like I beat Portal 1 in one sitting, just casually. I knew it was short, but I didn't think it was that short. I just logged on one night and I was like, I'm gonna start up Portal 1. Really good game. But Portal 2, man, like Portal 1's good. Portal 2 is like fantastic. Like I think the jump honestly is insane to me. Like Portal 2, just all the mechanics. I'm like immediately invested in the story when I load up. Like the characters and like the villain, like it's so good. It's just so good. Although like this game, Portal has physics and mechanics that are better in 2011 than they were in modern day gaming. Like some of the stuff I'm doing with like the puzzles and everything is absolutely insane. And like the mechanics of like shooting the goo and like certain goos like speed and like you get the blue goo, which is like your jump. Like I don't know. The Portal games are absolutely fantastic and I'm so excited I played them. And now I think these were the first Valve games I've ever played actually. And now
Yeah, 'cause the
now I
Team
know why
Fortress, Left 4 Dead, none of that.
I've played Team Fortress, I
Half-Life.
guess, but I haven't played Half-Life. But now I understand why people are always like so mad at Valve for never making a third video game like in their series.
I
Because
mean,
I
you
want a
beat
Portal 3 now bad.
you got. Oh, come on! You saw the ending of that game. I mean, where do you go?
Yeah, but
It's such a good ending.
you can just do something. Do like Wheatley's like my dude.
Oh yeah,
I love that man. I'm like, I don't
the
know.
writing
It's
in
so
that
good.
game holds up incredibly well. It is absolutely phenomenal. That Portal 2 is just like a game of all time.
Yeah, Portal 2 is like impressive. Like I was honestly like Portal 1's a good game. Like I 100% have fun in like the 3 to 4 hours. But Portal 2, I felt like was Portal 1 on steroids. Like just
100%.
so much, just across the board is better. I don't think Portal 1 does a single thing better than Portal 2. And that's like how your sequel should go. You know what I mean? Like if you're
Oh
building
yeah,
a
it's the
sequel,
perfect
like your
sequel.
sequel should be better in every single way, and it's better in every single way.
100%.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Oh yeah. Dark, you've been playing Borderlands 2 again. Stop coming in here with Borderlands 2.
Borderlands
You have
2. Alright, it's the game of all time. Okay, what can I say about this fucking game? This game is
replaying
incredible.
of a replay.
No, this game is endless, alright? This is a game that you can go back to like fucking endlessly, and it'll still hit every single time with how it's designed and made. It's that good of a game. But yeah, I want like my 5 billionth playthrough.
Can you
Hey,
honestly
lost
think of
count.
what number this would be? Is it in the like the
If
40s?
you want, no, it's in the triple digits.
Oh my gosh! Just
Oh my
give it
God.
up, bro.
what do
Let it
you
rest.
do? I tried to play that game twice, and I'm like, oh god, I can't do this
Keep
a
in mind,
second time.
I played this game like it was a couple months after it released on the 360, and I played it with my brother. This was like a big childhood game for me and my brother, and we played this game fucking endlessly. And that's the community support and like how the game handled got a lot of DLC and shit. It's been incredible. It's a very big expansion and shit, and the way that they handle the loot aspect is done so perfectly. The amount of replayability is unmatched. I haven't found a game that has as much replayability as this game.
I've never played it.
Yeah,
I think it's a fun time. One is kind of dated, but like it has charm. 2 is where it peaked. The pre-sequel isn't bad, and then 3 is good.
is
The first
fine.
playthrough. 3
It's
is
good
the
as a
first
gameplay.
playthrough. It does not have replayability.
Does, that's true. I mean, like it depends on how much you value replayability. I thought 3 was good, but just from a gameplay standpoint, that story was garbage. Moon, how about you? What you been playing?
I have been a bad gamer and haven't played anything. Tune into a Slice of Anime episode that just aired last Wednesday to find out why. Moving on.
Hey, you know what? I respect it. Gaming is dead. I forgot I haven't gone. I beat San Andreas again for like the 4th, 5th time. I love that game to death. I actually got the platinum for the first time. It is a really kind of annoying platinum because there's a lot of like dumb bullshit that you have to do, but I still had fun with it because I love San Andreas. That's still one of my favorite Rockstar games. And I went back to Baldur's Gate 3. Game Awards, Goaty, then let's go. I'm loving it. I did pretty much the end of Act 2 yesterday, and I am fully on board with this game now. Like I could see it in my top 5, maybe even top 3 for the year. I think it does absolutely everything right. The combat was the thing I was always complaining about. Playing it on easy, let me tell you guys, I can actually like think. I can breathe because the one thing I needed with the combat is like give me more health. I need more health. And at that point, now I finally got that health and I can actually breathe and figure out these battles, understand what's happening, and like really like absorb myself in the story. I love the characters. They're just extremely well developed, especially in regards to the companions, which is always something that like not a lot of RPGs do well. I feel like a lot of companions are kind of just there, but then you have stuff like the Mass Effects where the companions very much are a part of the game. And I think Baldur's Gate 3 is very much in that ilk where these companions define so much of your run through of everything that you do, the choices you make. They are not just there for backup and support, like they are part of your party, and I absolutely love it for that reason. So I see myself beating it probably the next couple weeks, depending on how Act 3 goes. I'm very excited to continue with this. This is very much, I deserves all the awards. I think Larian is a very talented studio. But I think that's everything in regards to what we've been playing. I think it's time we wrap this up, man.
Freedom.
Jeff
All
Keighley,
right.
man, he's obsessed with us.
So hope you all enjoyed the extra big boy episode of the Slice of Gaming podcast. And I guess if you made it all the end here, we should also formally announce the Soggies, where Pop will be hopefully returning to revel in the year of gaming that we have found ourselves in, with all kinds of fun categories that we're going to discuss of all the games we've played this year. So hope you guys tune in for that. That should be at the end of the month, according to our schedule currently. But besides that, hope you all had a good night. Good morning whenever you listen to this. It's night for us, and I'm tired. So
Yeah, we're going to bed.
make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. And we will see you all on the next episode. Say good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good
Enjoy
night.
your gaming.
Baldur sweep.
Baldur sweet.